probably got some people scared.
And we're live.
Hello.
I don't think that business is closed down that fast. That's
No, probably not. But
No.
sarcasm a little bit.
What are we adjusting?
Also,
Face.
My face is fine.
if McDonald's
Sure it is.
is closed anytime they're in a place where people got shot, there would be no
There
McDonald's.
would be no McDonald's ever. Yeah, that's pretty true.
Hey,
There's
so
McDonald's right across the street from your house.
yeah. Hey,
Okay.
I live in a safe neighborhood. Look how many police cars there are always around.
There are a lot of police
A
cars.
lot of police cars in my neighborhood,
Everywhere.
which means it's the safest neighborhood.
To be fair, our neighborhood has had a lot of police cars lately. Now we're a super safe neighborhood.
Super safe.
You heard about that, right?
No?
There were 3 shootings in Madison, like on the same day.
Yeah.
There was one at the mall. There was one like somewhere on the east side. I forget where exactly. And there was one on my effing street.
Yeah.
Like literally
It was down
Chelsea
the
Street.
blocks.
It was like a block down the street. It was like you could throw a stone from where the shooting happened and hit Brian's house.
Nice. Yeah.
And there's a house for sale there for now. Like I didn't know exactly which house it happened in, but suddenly a house is for sale there. I suspect.
Does the realtor ad mention good ventilation?
It doesn't, but it should probably.
Why I don't get that joke?
Bullet holes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that was a very funny joke. Just not because it was in poor taste, just it was just
Because
bad.
you did, yeah, it just wasn't funny.
It just wasn't funny.
Okay.
Are you glad I'm
I'll,
back?
I'll make a note.
I sat down and started playing my iPad. And asked
Are we going to
somebody-
actually introduce this episode at some point?
Yeah.
Andy tried.
I
Andy did try.
tried. I
He's
have been
segued.
trying. Yeah. Welcome to episode 109 of the Crippled System podcast. My name is Andy, and I'm your host for this wonderful tour
Don't
of death.
lie.
I'm not your what?
The wonderful part. You're the host. That's fine.
I'm just your host for your tour of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
yes.
no death.
And what faction do you play, Andy?
Yeah, those weren't fatal shootings. Just some people got shot.
Wasn't one of them
Ed.
fatal?
No,
No, I didn't shoot
I
anybody.
almost said something terrible.
I didn't shoot
no.
anybody, so we're fine.
You weren't involved.
No, I didn't
were you
shoot
gonna
anybody.
say?
Nothing.
Personally.
No,
I'll tell
I
you in
just
an hour and a half.
Okay.
I may have shot at people,
But you didn't actually shoot
but I didn't
someone.
shoot
He's got to
anybody.
go practice.
Yeah.
Shooting range tomorrow.
Just got to go set up bottles and pumpkins and shoot at them now.
Let me make sure I write down the GPS exactly where you live.
Like all those
and I'll
Western,
circle
like those
around
Western
your house.
games where it's like practice mode and it's like pumpkins and beer bottles and it's like people and they're easier to hit.
I wonder if that would actually fly in court if you tried to say that you were part of a militia and you were practicing.
I think not.
I don't
really
think it would.
don't think
That's
that
right
would
up there
fly.
with saying that their flag has fringe on it, therefore it's a naval court and they don't hold sway over you. Good old sovereign citizens.
Valiant 418 on the forums. I recently played Rhett.
My name is Katie, Bad Horse on the forums, and I play board games.
Jeremy should legally change his last name from Shay to Valiant 418 on the forums. That would be great. That would be a commitment.
We met people at Adepticon that are from Katie's hometown. We met them because I spilled beer on one of them. Not a beer I was drinking, mind you.
Classy.
Their beer, because I was paying zero attention to where I was going. I wasn't even drunk yet. This was the first night when we got there. I spilled beer on someone else. But anyway, I spilled beer on the guy, and I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. And the guy got a little like, you just spilled beer on me.
Confrontational?
Which is
Yeah.
fair,
No,
because
he
I
was
just spilled... He
confrontational.
wasn't confrontational. He was just like...
In disbelief that
Yeah, he
somebody
was
would
like,
do
you
that.
just spilled beer on me, and you're just like, oh, sorry, and you're walking on? Like, that's really what you're doing right now? And I was like, I'm really sorry? And so then I was like, I'm kind of committed now. Hi, I'm Jeremy, Valiant 418 on the forum, because, like, that's just how I say it at cons now. And he was like, oh, my God, we listened to Crippled System. And then he was like, oh, my God, we're from Katie's hometown. And I was like, all right, this is just bizarre. And then he was, like, completely not upset about the beer anymore. Like, I went over to play an Iron Arena game later that evening, and he came over with his buddy, and they were like, oh, man, it was so cool to meet you. And I was like, literally
They
the way
never
you...
did that to me.
You were gone. You went to bed that night.
Oh.
Literally the way I met you was I spilled beer on you, and now it's like the best thing that's happened to you the whole con.
Yeah.
You didn't tell him the best part of the story. I didn't recognize him, and he didn't really recognize me, and we were on the same cross-country team.
Like literally at the same time.
Katie, we're cross country.
Yeah, she was cross
Oh,
country.
yeah. Did you run cross-country?
Ask
Nice.
Katie why she was
Dwarfs
on
are
cross-
excellent over long distances.
Yes.
Ask Katie why she ran
Short
cross-country.
distances.
Short distances.
That was the joke.
But you were. Yeah, I see how you try to modify
You
it
tried
to,
to fix
to
it
work
for you.
for me. Thanks.
So Katie, why did you run cross country?
Get out of gym class.
She literally ran cross fucking country.
Oh,
So she
it's-
wanted to go to gym class.
It's not so bad.
It's a lot of running.
It's like a
Well,
20-minute run.
Depending how
Oh,
quickly
30-minute run.
or how much you carry, it can be a lot of jogging.
It's a lot of jogging for
And
Katie.
you get to travel. You get to go across the state. You get to go hang out with friends.
You don't have
get
to go to gym class?
you get to go to Baraboo and steal the little candy machines that sit outside
Nice.
I did
the
not get to
restaurants.
do
We
that.
stole one of those and brought on the bus. We got yelled at so much
You
for that.
You think? Oh my gosh.
It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of beer spilling, Sam won one of the overnight events, the Blood, Sweat, and Tears
Blood, Sweat,
event.
and Tears, yeah.
And his first 2 games, he should not have
Oh
won.
my gosh, he was telling me about them.
One of the games, the only reason he won was because his opponent spilled a beer all over the table and then clocked himself cleaning up the spill. Like, Sam was dead to rights.
Was that the one where his opponent was up 4 control points to 0?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that they made him clean up the beer.
On his clock.
On his
his
clock. Well, they might not have made it, but it was like 3 in the morning, so
I
he probably
heard-
didn't ask anybody.
I heard that they made him. He tried not to, and they're like, no, you have to clean that up.
Because, like, the event I won, my first round, I was losing to Zombie Dude, and then he left for 15 minutes because it turned out that he just started puking violently.
Oh, that's no fun.
So all of a sudden he just get up and left, and then he came back, and then he lost on clock, and he's like, I decided to be a gentleman and leave the table to go puke.
Just
Like,
fair.
Sure,
thanks
you
for that.
appreciated, yeah. It was just being nice.
Thanks for not puking on me, and thanks for losing this game.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that was one of the things, I forget, I think it was Muse that was talking about it. They were like, so really what you can do if you just want to really get in your opponent's head is just right at the beginning of the game, just be like, put it on your clock, just be like, I'm going to go take a shit. And then, like, come back 15 minutes later. I was like, how is that a strategy? That's just, I didn't have time to poop between rounds.
If you know, like, if you have like a caster that's like insane on
Yeah.
a caster kill, maybe that's something you could do. Because like Lilith 2, if you have Lilith 2, you could go take a shit. Because either
The game is over by round 3,
You
one way or the other.
One way or the
Definitely
other
won't
way.
need your
Yeah.
clock. Yeah.
No.
That same round that Zombie Dude went to go to take care of business, another game that round, Malachi, the young
our
local
local.
player, he was playing against some guy and was doing quite well, like tabling him. Like the guy was failing every tough check and every command.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very, very dicey, but Malachi was also playing well, not
happens,
selling
yeah.
short. But the point is, it was extremely one-sided game. So they're playing, and Malachi's like doing a little jig, doing a little jig, and all of a sudden he just taps it over and runs out of the hall because he has to go pee. So he pulls a knack. He just taps it over and runs out of the hall. And so the guy's sitting there, and it's an old, like, it's like a 38-year-old guy playing against a 12-year-old kid, know? And so he's sitting there for a while, and he says to Travis, he's like, I'm kind of torn because he's a kid, so I kind of feel like I should, like, pause the clock or something. But on the other hand, he's destroying me.
Yeah, I can see where did Malachi wind up winning that game?
Oh, yeah, he
Okay,
had
that's
plenty of time. He came back and he won the game.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the last time I've had to, like, I don't know that I've ever had to do that, although I play Legion and Ret, so, like, my games just never, ever go to time.
I
Like,
did that
I always
once.
have a break.
I had to do that once, but during time turns. I used up an
Ooh.
entire one of my turns. Yeah.
That sucks.
Whatever I had for lunch, it was the game after lunch, and I needed some time.
Yeah, that's never good.
I don't know that I've ever had this particular problem that you guys are discussing.
No?
No?
I don't think that I have.
Katie, have you ever, like, eaten some food, maybe some barbecue or something, and then it was a race with the devil to get to a bathroom?
Oh, no. I've had that problem.
That was the problem I had, and it was the game after I got back from the lunch break. And it was at a Misty Mountain tournament. It was against Jason Gargathor, and
Okay.
I was just like, yeah, I have to go pee for my
Click.
butt. No click. Yeah, it's time turns. I'm waiting. I'm like, finish your turn, Jason. Finish your turn. Finish your turn. Finish your turn. Beep, beep. Bye. Just left for 10 minutes.
It's my turn as it's on you.
So that was a bad Papa Bears experience?
It was not. I think I got Domino's or something. I don't even know what I did.
Or that Chinese place. That Chinese place has been known to ruin several a tournament.
Oh, that's our... Don't give away our tech. Come on.
Like,
recommend it.
like-
Hey, this is a really good Chinese place.
Yeah.
You guys should check
It
it
was-
out while you're in town.
strong out-of-towners always get the recommendation to try the Chinese food.
It was good like 10 years ago.
Didn't you convince the whole Muse crew to hit the Chinese
Oh
food
yeah,
one time?
oh yeah, no. But I felt bad because like my favorite member of Muse was so sick. That was Chad.
Chad has
was
more, like... I feel
Chad
like
is
it's
everyone's
frequent.
favorite Iowan.
Well, yeah, that's 100% true. That's obvious. But my point is, I feel like Chad has intestinal problems somewhat frequently at
Oh, yeah.
tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, I remember at Adepticon last year, he qualified for Masters but couldn't play because he
was
was
sick.
throwing up everywhere.
I think maybe it could be stress induced. Maybe
could be.
he just worries himself into. To me, he seems like somebody who would just worry about things.
certainly
Might be
possible.
too much.
Also, side note to somebody in our chat room asking, Brian is not here today because he just got back from being, was he in Vegas or something?
Well, he
right?
was in
he was
Utah,
in
but he
Utah.
went to Vegas.
He was in Utah and went to Vegas, yes.
Yeah.
He was in Utah for work and then went to Vegas and went to some state park where he took a picture of the rocks.
It should be noted that he texted me at some point during that and was like, I'm bored.
Yeah, that's true. That did happen. Katie's response was, "Hi, I'm Katie."
Nice
Because
dad
she's a
joke.
good friend.
Thanks. I really like that one.
Yeah,
He's a good
it's
friend.
a good one.
But
Yeah, so he's either in flight or just showing up in town here, so he's not going to be on this
I'm
one.
pretty sure he's back because he had something on Facebook about 10 minutes ago that was like, I just got back into Madison.
yeah.
That's good. That's a hint that he's back in Madison.
That's a good sign.
Way to crack that case, Katie.
You really cracked
Well,
the
you guys
code.
kept saying like he might
Well,
not
I
be
hadn't
back
noticed
yet.
the post on Facebook, so. Damn it, Katie.
Well, it was just...
All right, just for that, I'm going to make you talk about your thing while you're trying to play Soda.
Oh yeah, talk about your thing.
Talk about your thing.
So I asked Nathan if he wanted to help co-host with me, and he had no idea what I was talking about, and it was a really funny conversation. I had a good time.
No, that's
Talk about the thing that was
actually
about.
tell them the thing for that to be a funny... Okay, so...
The thing that I didn't know about, they also might not know about.
I
Right.
know, that's why it's funny on top of funny.
That is
Remember
not
earlier when you
true.
said that wasn't funny?
Yeah,
Neither is this.
but you weren't laughing
I need
so
to eat.
hard.
I need food in my mouth to put up with this ridiculousness.
Give me that last one.
Yeah, here you go. We all need this right now.
Katie, do you know of anybody who's hosting any new cooking type show things on the YouTubes or the blogger nets?
Yes, so I decided to start...
nets?
Well, it's called a vlog. So
So a couple of things. One, the reason I'm able to come here tonight is because even my boss was like, you might be getting burned out. Maybe you should stop working so much. So I've been trying to not work so much. But in addition to that, I started a cooking vlog to meet two goals. One is so that there was something exciting to come home and cook to. And because the other thing is, like, I've tried all sorts of things to stay motivated on diets and eating healthy in general. And, like, you know, events like I'm getting married, so I need to lose weight, or we're going on vacation, or, you know, any sort of thing
it's
like
summertime.
that. Or it's summertime. And at the end of the day, what happens is that event comes and goes, and then after that event stops. Even if I was doing really, really well on my diet, I just stop. Because that event came and went, and that's what I was working for, and so there's that. But if I have, like, a video that's, like, fun to do, and I can have people like Nathan and Andy come join me occasionally, and
I just come and eat.
You notice I don't get invited to co-host this?
you're always there.
She has no choice.
That's true.
And a couple of other people have expressed interest in also coming and joining it, then it's something that's fun and to look forward to, as opposed to, like, a daily chore of, I can't eat out, I have to cook. And so now it's like, oh, I have to go do my thing, and it's going to be super exciting. And so that's my plan.
Yeah.
Plus, it was really fun because the day that I started, Brian had posted on Facebook that if he hears about one more diet...
Anyone who talks about dieting, he's eating a donut for each one. So Katie asked him if we could cook him donuts.
Yeah. Well, he asked me if I could cook him donuts.
Oh, is that what it was?
Because I tagged him on it. But
You're
anyway...
You're not going to go like the giant gluten-free thing.
No,
right?
it's
You just
healthy.
just healthy food.
Healthy adjacent.
Healthy adjacent. Like, it's just because the idea, like,
It's less terrible.
it's less
Yes.
terrible. Like, in my mind, you should be able to maintain a healthy body weight by just eating foods that aren't terrible for you, not necessarily foods that are like gluten-free and vegetable-based. And make sure you use coconut oil instead of olive oil because coconut oil is better. And, like, that's a lot of work, and it's very expensive to do, like, whole out. And it's just not.
Also, a significant percentage of that stuff is complete bullshit.
Also
Right.
that.
Like, unless you're one of the one in some number that is not a double-digit number, like hundreds or thousands of people that have a legit disease, gluten doesn't do shit to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like...
I mean, carbs in general are like a thing your body stores easily.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not like it makes you sick, and it's not like it ruins your intestinal
like gluten
tract.
isn't some magic demon. Like there's people that have a disease. It's like same with like lactose intolerant. Like if you're lactose intolerant, lactose fucks you up. If you're not, it's just
And
another
there's
thing.
people that like fall on the spectrum. Like Jordan is not truly lactose intolerant. He's just really unbearable to be around when he eats like cheese or ice cream because he gets stinky ass farts.
His body can't process
His body,
it.
but like he
or
drinks
has
milk fine. Like it's like cheese or ice cream. Like you kind of get the
Well, he's probably just mildly, so it takes a
like,
lot of it.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
mildly. So
Yeah.
But anyway, because the idea is, because then the other thing again with giving up carbs is then as soon as you eat carbs again, you gain all the weight back. Like it just comes right on back. And so like
Also, carbs are great.
also they're
they
delicious.
are delicious.
I made pumpkin bread yesterday, and then just eating fistfuls of it because it was still hot out of the oven. I just put like a stick of butter in the middle of the loaf and just ate it.
Yeah.
So we might not be doing the stick of butter in the middle of the loaf, but we could probably make the loaf and it would be just fine.
A
because
little butter's fine.
a little butter is fine. Like the whole point is like you can be healthy without like spending wads of cash or spending lots of time or going to some extreme and just like neglecting a food type altogether. That's my theory, and so I hope over the next year I can prove that theory to be true.
I hope so too. And it's called Katie's Kitchen. It's linked from Crippled Systems YouTube. It's linked from. We've posted a Facebook link. We posted it on Twitter. We can't get one of those fun little channel names where it's just YouTube/channel/Katie's Kitchen, because the new policy on YouTube, which I think is retarded, by the way, I don't mind saying that. Yep. You have to have 500 subscribers to get one of those clean titles. Yep. So the actual URL is ZBXYLMN3743XJ !! But we've linked it.
I hope that was actually the address, and you had it memorized.
If that was, I am a savant.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've linked it everywhere. I'll put it in the show notes as well, or Andy will.
You're at least one half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not the word I would have kept from the famous phrase.
You're so pretty, though.
That's true.
But it's on our YouTube channel, so you can follow it there. Eventually, it'll be on the Crippled System homepage. So,
and we'll put it in the show notes, obviously.
So anyway, on top of that, if you guys have anything that you want to see or to do, or you have a specific recipe,
have us cook something,
or have us cook something, we'll cook it and then eat it, and you can't have any.
You should be jealous and watch through the TV.
That just reminded me that now that Adepticon's over, we have to start actually doing Pooper Potato.
Andy and I were talking about Pooper Potato earlier. Yep.
We got so many lists.
I don't want to hear about it. You want to know what lists were submitted for me in total?
Several of those lists bowed out and said, wait,
I like his better.
Yeah, there were 4 people that had the
P-Lilith list.
they
like his better? Do you know why? And they even admitted this. Because that list is all infantry and 3 lights. There's not even a heavy Legion beast in that effing list.
Yeah, you can take out Colossus with that.
They're excited to watch me play fucking Legion infantry. It's not enough that it's P-Lilith.
She's got Parasite and Pincushion. Are the lights
no,
bolt
she's
throwers
got just
and shit?
Parasite.
Oh,
she doesn't have Pincushion.
Oh, that's it. She got still Parasite. What are the lights? Are they bolt throwers and
stuff?
stuff?
It's a rake and it was a rake and a tariff.
Are those good?
Tariff is interesting, but
he's
a little expensive for 5 points. But,
I think Tariff might be in there for his animus on Lilith herself, which is solid.
Is Bushwhack?
Bushwhack.
Yeah.
Command range. No, she has Bushwhack all the time. It's command range counterblast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so on her, it's decent because she's like,
somebody moves up and
she ends.
She can trigger.
It's a good animist on Lilith 3 also because her auto fire procs anytime she shoots, so she gets to counterblast 3 guns.
Yeah, which is cool.
Could Tude also get Swift Hunter off of that?
Yes. No, Swift Hunter is activation only.
It is only? Okay.
I'm almost positive.
I'm assuming it is.
I'm 90%
based on how the game is usually designed. I'm assuming it's activation
Beatback's
only.
not, and Beatback, if you get a Beatback free strike on someone who's charging, it's actually really bizarre.
Pretty sure Beatback is, because I know that you can't beat back off of a counter charge with Axis, because I did it once and then it turned out it was cheating.
Oh.
Yeah,
so maybe it's like Crit Slam or something. I know there's a way that you can theoretically make someone's charge lane get all fucked up if you have certain, if you free strike someone and then you Crit Slam them or something like that.
Oh yeah,
they finish their charge lane and then they move however many inches.
Well, no,
to the side.
if you're. It used to be that because the rule's not used to not even have a rule for what happened if you were immune to knockdown and got slammed out of your charge lane mid slam.
Yeah,
I remember because 4 years ago I asked every Privateer Press staff member at the Gen Con at the press gang party, and DC's I'm not on the clock, don't bug me with this shit. But so they ended up changing it so if you are shifted off your charge lane, you stop moving immediately and fail your charge.
Oh, it's right when it happens. It's not at the end.
You'd be slammed, you'd shift over 2 inches and go fuck, and then you stop.
Oh.
It makes sense. Instead of trying to figure out that vector as well.
The question originally was when you continue your movement, would you continue on the parallel line or would you readjust your vector to your charge? And since they didn't have an answer, they just said, you do neither, shut up.
Yeah. By the way, Katie, Johnny says hi. Travis' son. It's a chat thing.
Brian's on. Yeah, Travis' spawn says hi.
Yeah, he asked me if I was having fun, and I told him yes.
In that you're playing Soda Crush?
Well, you guys were talking about War Machine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Well, the Lilith list, there's I don't know, there's some other lists. There's some interesting Scorn lists in there.
There were a lot of cool lists, and the only problem is there's a lot of cool lists out there for both Ret and Legion, and literally the only Pooper Potato lists submitted were P-Lilith. There's not any other Legion caster. There's no Ret ones.
We should. The other thing though too is you don't have to be the person to play those two. But we want you to.
Yeah, well, everyone does.
Lewis has got Legion. He could probably play.
Lewis could totally. I'm perfectly happy to play the list. I just wish we'd also seen other give me a Gareth. I played Gareth for my article series. I don't mind trying goofy Ret lists. I don't
think there was a Merc list on there.
Beatback isn't. Not only is Beatback.
activation.
Okay, let's say this. Beatback is not during activation. Okay. It is during combat action. It's even more restricted.
Jeez. Okay. Good to know. So yeah. So
you don't get beatback during its during like an ancillary shot.
Yeah, or even within your activation, if it's not your combat action, like before you move, like if you have flashing blades, yeah, you couldn't cast flashing blades before you moved and beat back up and then move.
Side note, by the way, about people that like do weird swimmy things like that. I didn't realize what a pussy Bart was. That guy can't kill shit in melee.
He can if it's the 6th or 7th thing he gets
Sure,
to.
except how does he ever make that happen with no multiple attacks? And like he doesn't have like a Thresher attack.
No, he has focus.
Sure, but only 6 of it.
Yep.
So like
the 7th guy you get to gets really fucking hurt.
But not a caster. Like I had him try to get into my caster.
Yeah,
and he just did nothing.
He doesn't have. If the caster was the 6th person and he had the one last focus to boost to hit,
maybe.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Blood Quench is not really that. It's cool, but
it's cool, and
if it's against low defense infantry, so he hits every single one without boosting, it's equivalent to camping the armor.
Yes.
So there's no reason not to do it.
There's no reason not to do it. Yes.
In fact, it's better because things like Arcane Assassin don't get around it. So if he can just mow through a unit, if it's low defense, there's no reason for him not to do it.
Yeah, but it's got to be low because he's like Mat 6.
Yeah. So defense 13 or less. I mean, on
even
average,
13 is a little
the 13 he will miss half
12.
of them. Yeah, so like 12 he'll probably hit most of them, and then
overtake through them. And
yeah,
but yeah, I was just shocked.
He's not the butcher. He's not the butcher,
but like a lot of Merc casters do get work done in melee when they get there. Like I'm just thinking most of the Merc casters, like probably not Ashlyn. I'm not sure. Is Ashlyn a murder machine in melee?
She's a
or not Ashlyn,
master.
Not Ashlyn. Fiona.
Fiona is not. No.
Yeah, like
she has. Does she have grievous wounds? She has something.
She has grievous wounds.
Is it grievous? Yeah. So she's got that going for her. Bart did have something cool in. Sorry, Katie. Are you still just texting with Brian?
She is.
No, okay. I wouldn't do that.
In Mark 1, Bart had a really cool ability called Rouse, which was if he. It was kind of like the thing that Butcher and Abby 2 have.
Conferred Rage.
It's kind of like that. It was if he charged something. I don't think he even had to kill it. I think he just had to charge like an enemy model and get to it. He maybe had to kill whatever. Then all of his jacks got to charge for free, and
That's
got
cool.
they might have gotten a speed buff or something. But it was really cool and fluffy. But he lost that. So
yeah, a lot of those weird fluffy rules from Mark 1 kind of they were like
well, it's good focus management too. I mean, free charge on all his jacks.
Yeah, a lot of those things went away, but it was really more so to clean up rules and abilities.
Makes sense. Anyway, that's a lot of War Machine.
So that's Katie's Kitchen.
Yes.
You should get make it like Katie's Country Kitchen or something and have them all with a K so that it'll be really awkward for people to initialize.
There you go.
You can start making T-shirts.
I ate at the KKK.
Who wouldn't want to eat there?
Right?
The KKK is delicious.
Delicious. I like the meatloaf with the butter.
I want to make fried chicken and watermelon jokes.
Wow, Katie. Wow.
And we are live.
Aren't you glad Katie came back?
No, I'm excited.
Here's a story from Adepticon. So I was like working at the table or whatever, and somebody was talking to me, and they mentioned that I was the horrible person on the podcast, and I'm like, no bullshit. Katie's the horrible person on the podcast. It's not me. So that person, blah, 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 and they went away, and then they came back like 2 hours later, and they were like, you're right. As some person that had went off and interacted with you briefly and came back was like, yeah, you're right. She's totally the worst person.
Worst person ever.
What? I am so nice.
You just made a fried chicken and watermelon joke.
You guys made the KKK joke. I just took it to the next level. That's the next level.
That makes you the worst.
No, that makes me an overachiever.
Can't argue.
Oh my god.
So
her show is no longer linked on our Crippled System.
Right? No, here's the best part is
Katie's Corner has been canceled.
People who are on my Facebook page, I would not direct to this show. And so Katie's Kitchen is a lot cleaner.
It is a lot cleaner. Although the very first episode was not terribly. Like, you kept making innuendos the whole time, and then, like, chuckling slightly to yourself and moving on. And, like, from episode 2 on, she, like, cleaned it up a little bit.
To be fair,
she realized that both of our mothers watched the first episode.
To be fair, if somebody gets the innuendo, that's on them.
Right, that just means they have a dirty mind.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I would be like, you just kind of finger it a little bit to know, and then I would giggle a lot.
That is the sort of thing she did the first episode, like, quite a bit.
That sounds amazing.
They were like accidental innuendos, but then the giggling gives it away.
Yeah.
Either that, I'm just a crazy person.
I had to fight down the urge to do it. That's what she said over the radio at work a few days ago, because it was the most insanely over the top setup, because this person was oblivious. They were working in the copy center, and they needed to take a poster and affix it to some rigid board so that it would work as a stand-up sign. So it's a 2-person job, and I told them when they'd finished printing and they needed me to help them with that to call me. And so she comes over the radio and she says, "Nathan, I'm ready for mounting." And I'm just like, oh, sweet Jesus. And like everybody on the sales floor, we all look at each other. I was like, what? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Good times.
Yeah. And then I didn't get up there right away, so she said again, "Nathan, I need you. I'm ready for mounting." And it's like, oh, my God.
I took the TurboTax back, by the way, and
Yeah.
I don't know that they believed my story that it just didn't work.
Yeah, they totally thought she was trying to return a tax product she'd already used. Like, you could see it on all their faces that they did not believe her, even in the slightest.
Now, to be fair, I waited a month before I finally made it back
Yeah,
to
to be
the
fair,
store.
it's basically April at this point.
Good job, you.
And I did just do my own taxes.
Not with that. We paid for our own copy.
We only paid for our
So
own
not
copy.
suspicious at all.
Not
No.
suspicious at all.
Yeah.
Well, plus she didn't bother to make any note about how it didn't work. She was like, it didn't work on my computer. And they were like, well, what happened? She was like, I don't know, it just didn't work.
It didn't.
Like,
I
that was
put
her
it in, and
response.
my computer...
It wasn't like it was the wrong version. It wasn't like I have Windows whatever, and it said it needed Windows whatever. She was like, I don't know, it just didn't work.
Well,
and the guy,
tried-
like, looks at her.
For what it's worth, open software technically is not legally returnable.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was very nice of them.
I'm
Yeah, like I'm not
I'm aware,
surprised
like,
they
the
made
guy-
the exception,
like,
but
the-
they should have told you sucks to be you.
Well, the guy at the front was
Well-
like gonna say that, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just call a manager." And the manager came up, and the guy's like looking at Katie, and Katie's just smiling, and he's looking at Katie, and she's smiling. He's like, "All right, whatever."
Well, the thing is, like, because I told him, I said, I asked the lady when I bought it if it didn't work, if I could return it, and she said, sure. And it didn't work. So I'm returning it.
Well, to be fair, she lied to you.
That's what she said to me.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that is what she said. Because I asked her specifically.
Excuse me, sorry, but yeah. I feel like we had something else we were going to talk about. No,
We did. We were talking about
There's a
Adepticon.
What was Adepticon in general?
We played a new wine game, which is really, really fun.
It was really fun.
A lot of people were making very suboptimal moves, though, I felt. Not me.
Katie, we played 3 games of it. Katie won
What's
the
it
first
called?
2. Viticulture.
Yes.
Katie won the first 2, and then opted not to play the third one, and then basically just sat on Brian's shoulder like a little parrot and told Brian how to win the third one, and then
didn't-
Brian lost.
I didn't tell him how to win. I was just
tried to.
I was reviewing.
Brian would be like, "Here are my cards, Katie," and Katie would be like, "I think you should play that one." And I played this. That's my turn.
And then he lost,
it
so
was
way to
not,
fail.
Yeah, I know. It was not quite like that. There were.
It was kind of like that.
Well, I tried to help Stu out originally, and that just wasn't
Going anywhere.
going anywhere.
Stu has a very unique board game approach, which is let the chips fall where they may. Plans are for losers.
I think he had a plan. I'm not sure what it was.
So he's got almost the Andy approach to board
He has a
games.
very Andy approach to board games.
Because yeah,
Like, he has
chaos,
fun. He has
chaos
fun.
reigns.
Yeah, but like you're making wine. Like it's not really a chaos sort of thing.
No.
Yeah, well, it's
I
actually
don't know.
it's kind of a cool game. Like there are
is
different
very cool.
seasons, and the different seasons are like the different parts of a round. And so you have to have your summer actions all worked out so that you're ready for winter, and by the time you're ready for summer again. And so you have to kind of plan out ahead. Not quite like Agricola.
No,
not Agricola.
not nearly like Agricola.
Not Agricola. The one that you like. That's not Lords of Waterdeep.
Oh, Kalis?
Kalis. It's not quite like Kalis where it's as dry as that.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of planning ahead.
Yeah, you kind of need to have some kind of plan as to where you're going.
I goddamn love Kalis.
It's a good game.
Are there... I'm trying to think of other worker placement games, and Kalis has been around forever, so you'd think there'd be some more. So either I'm not remembering, or maybe I haven't played them, or maybe this wine game is it. Are there other worker placement games where the workers don't activate when you place? Oh, Mayan calendars like that.
Mayan
calendars like that.
And
But
to be fair, they do activate when you place them in this game.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I didn't know because I didn't play this one, but because Kalis and then the Mayan calendar, you'd think there'd
Pretty
be
much
more
it.
games where the workers don't execute when you place them.
It's fairly. I think a lot of people assume, a lot of game makers assume that mechanic is going to be hard, like innately harder for people.
Yeah, but that's part of the challenge of the game.
But game makers are trying. They want a challenging game, but they want a game that you're going to want to play immediately. And like if it's one of those things where like you need to play it 4 times to understand the mechanic, like they may just make less sales.
Seems like the action though you would want to resolve right away so you don't forget about it later on. Maybe
Well, I mean,
But then it matters
yeah.
because with Kalis, like if you need to build a house, like you can't just build a house right away. Like
Sure.
you have to make sure that you have other players. That
Right. Brian's pointing out dominant species is also like that.
Yeah, it's just
The
kind
guys
of all
put on
resolves
the-
at
on
turn
the right.
end.
Yeah, it all
Can
resolves
you
at turn
read
end.
that? That's so tiny.
Yeah. Well, mostly because he's talking about stabbing me and that I'm a son of a bitch, and my spidey sense really
Yeah.
pulls that in.
Pull that in. Yeah.
And
Why
I'm
did
also
you
thinking
stop texting me,
there
by
are
the
games
way?
like
I'll send him a picture. If you
what's
want.
the Sons of Anarchy? Because Sons of Anarchy,
I haven't played yet.
That doesn't trigger right when you play some. But despite the fact that you could call them workers, that's almost like an auction game because it's not you go there and it triggers. It's everybody throws shit on the board, and then whoever has the most it
Wins,
resolves at the
whatever.
end. So
Okay.
it's kind of like an auction but with people instead of money.
I hate to do this because I know it's going to be disastrous for me, but I have to go to the bathroom.
you tapping the clock
I'm
over?
tapping the clock over.
Katie, you can talk more about Vinovici Vajavajo.
I thought it was a really good whatchamacallit, worker placement game. I think that I don't know, that's all I have to say about it is you have to interact with other people and plan. I don't know how to explain it in more depth.
All right.
Quit
Okay,
placing
I'm
and
glad.
showing me.
I got something we can vamp on slightly. Any of you guys watch TV recently?
No.
Some.
Okay, I think it's a
I
Hyundai
watched The
commercial.
Flash.
It's a Hyundai commercial that they have out where it's about a mom and her daughter, and
Yeah.
it's basically talking about how daughter is growing up with that car itself. For some odd reason, there's a line at the end of the commercial that it sounds like, and this is where she'll become a woman. And I was just sitting there thinking, in my back of my mind, in the back seat,
Yeah.
the whole time.
Like the backseat of a Volkswagen?
Yes.
There's a commercial. I posted on my Facebook.
Front seat's actually easier.
I
but
laugh for...
here nor there.
Not if you have a stick shift. That gets in the way.
Does it?
Yeah.
Or helps, depending on what you're doing.
Depending on what you're doing.
But I posted this on Facebook because I laughed for like 15 minutes after this commercial the first time I heard it. There's some medicine commercial, which I'm still shocked are legal, by the way. Any prescription medicine, I don't need to have commercials for because my doctor should know what
You
to
would
prescribe
think.
me.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that those are legal in America. But whatever. Side note, you rolled an 8. During the fast talk, which is always the best part of these, because it's like, this cures ingrown toenails, and the side effects include bursting into flames, herpes, death, your parents dying in front of your eyes. Like, the side effects are always terrible.
Yeah.
But this one, I forget what the medicine's called. I'll call it Flimflamidam. During the fast talk at the end, they're like, do not take Flimflamidam if you are allergic to Flimflamidam. It's like,
I remember.
no shit! Like, why would they need to put that in the fast talking?
Apparently they do.
Like, why wouldn't every product on the planet have that in the fast
this
talk
thing.
at the end? Do not drive a Volkswagen if you're allergic to Volkswagens. Like, everything should say that.
Or not say that. Because it's common sense.
Exactly!
It is common
Why
sense.
did this one particular medicine need to remind you, if this will kill you, don't do it?
Don't do it. It's bad. Yo.
Do not eat
I
hot
could
dogs
see-
if you're
I could
allergic
see-
to hot dogs.
I could see them saying like some other medicines that was like almost very, very, very similar to that. Yeah, but not
Do
this
not
medicine.
take Flimflamidam if you're allergic to aspirin. Oh, okay. I
Okay,
did not
sure.
realize that aspirin was a part of it now. No, but literally itself. Do not take it if you're allergic to it.
There was a medicine commercial that plays on Hulu a lot that's like, it's for the asthma one where they keep recommending a different medicine.
Oh yeah, they're like,
In
by
the
the way, you
commercial.
should totally just get an inhaler, like totally. But if you don't want to get an inhaler, totally take our medicine. It's awesome. It does all these amazing things. But really,
You might have suicidal thoughts.
you should really just get an inhaler. Like that's really what you should just do. Inhaled corticosteroid is what they call it. Though. You should just take an inhaled corticosteroid. But you could take this too.
And then it's like, and then when you're done with this, get an inhaler.
It's the worst commercial. Like they spent the whole commercial convincing you to take a different medicine.
Maybe it was like totally viral marketing for the other medicine.
Maybe it was. Maybe it's possible.
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so we played a bunch of viticulture, which was fun.
I didn't know what else to say about it, and it really kind of dropped off at
It's
the
cool
end.
game. We experienced Werewolf. Neither Katie or I don't think you had. I know I haven't ever played Werewolf.
But you didn't play normal Werewolf. You
We
played
did.
the new version, which probably, from what I've heard, fixes everything that's terrible about Werewolf.
Which may be true because
There isn't really that much that's terrible about Werewolf.
There are two things that's terrible about Werewolf.
Oh,
It takes goddamn forever.
yeah.
Okay, there's 3 things that's wrong with Werewolf. It takes goddamn forever. there's player elimination, including before the game even begins. The first thing that happens in a game of Werewolf is one of you is kicked out of the game.
That's true.
True.
And it's fucking chaos. There's no information whatsoever, so it's just random drunken pointing of fingers. It's not like Resistance where the missions and the cards actually inject facts into the game.
True.
It's just chaos.
Yeah.
One would say though,
You might still like it in spite of that.
I still like the chaos part of there. Player elimination, unfortunately, with those type of games, that usually happens. I mean, that's. But
One Night's Extreme Super Duper Werewolf, or whatever it's called, was really fun. It has a problem almost the other way for your third issue. Like, there's a lot of information. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't have someone who's particularly good at lying at the table, then it's really easy to piece together from the information and just be like, well, he's a werewolf and he's a werewolf. Like,
so the one problem I found with it is, like, some people were just idiots anyway.
Some people were just like, literally, like, okay, so does the Tanner exist in normal Werewolf?
The guy who wants to die?
The guy who wants to die.
No.
Okay, so there's a Tanner, and you only get to kill one person, and there's 3 groups that win. Werewolves win if you kill someone who's not a werewolf. Villagers win if you kill a werewolf. Tanner wins if you kill the Tanner.
Right.
So all the Tanner wants to do is convince you to kill him. So Colin was the Tanner. Somebody freely admitted that during the night phase, they swapped Colin's card with Chad's card. And then Chad was the character where he got to look at his card at the end of the phase, and so he knew he was the Tanner. So both Colin and Chad had perfect information that Chad was now the Tanner, and the person that swapped them freely admitted to the group that he swapped Colin and Chad. So everyone at the table, I thought, knew that Chad was the Tanner. The other thing is, if you bury a certain number of cards in the middle that nobody is, if both werewolves are buried, then in order for the villagers to win, they have to kill no one. So you have to have a tie vote. So the easiest way to do that is everybody votes to their left. So we were like, obviously, like, we mathed it out. Obviously, both werewolves are buried. Everybody knows this. It's just a given fact. Everyone at the table is fully aware of that fact. Everyone vote left. Let's just win and get it over with. So we're all voting left, and you all do like 1, 2, 3 point. Colin fucking voted for Chad.
Who then voted for himself.
Well, no.
Oh, was Chad not to his left?
Chad voted to his left.
Oh, I assumed Chad was to Colin's left.
I don't think you can vote for yourself.
Oh, okay.
I think that is actually a rule. So Colin literally screwed the villagers either way, but especially because he knew that was the fucking Tanner. Like, he knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was voting for Chad to win. It's like when stuff like that happened.
Did he have a reason?
No, Colin was like, he was the Tanner, and it was like, Colin.
But why didn't he vote to his left?
I don't know.
I mean, he didn't even give her explanation for that.
Because Colin, I don't know. I really don't know.
There was another guy there who, for an inexplicable reason, also voted to his right.
There was one other guy that I think just didn't know what his left was and voted right.
So we would have lost either way. But yeah, because the person who was the werewolf, there was somebody who was the werewolf.
So they weren't both buried?
No, they were both buried. No one was a werewolf that game.
No one was a werewolf, but that's because somebody who knew
who was a werewolf knew that it had been buried because someone shared the information that they buried their card on them.
Yeah, because there was a drunk who just randomly switches someone's card with the middle card.
Oh, okay. So the guy was like, I was a werewolf and it got buried?
The drunk swaps themselves, and so what happened was the robber swapped himself in a werewolf, like swapped the werewolf card into the drunk, and then the drunk buried their card and got a non-werewolf, and it was like, oh, well, no werewolf.
The drunk doesn't know what he is.
Oh, that's right. He didn't get to the left, but we mathed it out.
Is it possible that Colin scooped to Chad?
It did seem like there was scooping involved. Yes.
Scooping.
2 scoops.
But it seems like that, at least in the werewolf that I've played before, there doesn't seem to be that many classes. Like, not all the villagers need to have a job. They just need to be
more and more classes. Even in classic werewolf, they got more and more jobs.
In Extreme Night, we were playing 8 players. We were playing 8 players, and 3 of us didn't have a job. Yeah. And that's counting 3 cards are buried, so it's possible there's 0 people that don't have a job.
And in the Ultimate Werewolf that people play now, like the ones that Clifton Klein usually runs and everything, it's like that. There's like 3 villagers, and then you have the
Infinite.
2. You have the 2 lovers. You have the huntsman. You have the Inquisition guy.
The kid that sees the werewolf.
Musician.
That knows
the seer. Did I say the seer? I don't know. But there's like
the seer.
There's all these special roles. Like I literally played that game with like 15 people and 3 werewolves and 12 things that, like, the villager team, not a single one of them had a card that just said villager.
That's why nighttime takes forever too, because you got to have the guy who's hosting it have to go over every goddamn thing.
Yep. And I will say, having played it, it's a game where you should have a person that's calling the game. Chad called the first few rounds, and then somebody left, and Chad jumped in, and the game moves so much slower because he can't look, and so he has to be like, well, I'm going to let this character go, and like we're going to just hope they're there and doing something, and I'm just going to talk for a minute, and I'm going to be quiet for a while also in case I'm that character.
Right.
Okay, that character's done.
So
you have to do that for every character.
Flip side, just play Shadowhunters.
Or Resistance. Like, my problem, and I told Katie this, I was like, it was fun, but I like, if I want that style of game, I would just rather play Resistance every time.
Yeah.
And I'm not always in the mood for that sort of game, but when I am, Resistance was just...
The thing Shadowhunters gives you is, the special roles thing. The people that do like that, like the...
Right, and I actually like in Resistance that you don't have all these goofy special roles.
Exactly. That's the whole point of Resistance.
Yeah, it's the game without special goofy roles. So, and the other thing about, and I think part of, and it's funny that both Katie and I really like Resistance because we have two very different styles in those games. Katie, like, tries to figure things out, but she's just, like, because she's incapable of lying, she's just brutally honest.
Watching Katie get so angry at Black.
She was so mad.
That's the funniest goddamn thing.
And she figures it out. She's really good, but she can never convince anyone of anything.
She had the team perfect.
Yep.
She just walks up to the game after the first. She watches the first match. She goes, "Those three are the spies," and she was right. And we fucking won.
No, it was the time that
great.
Keith,
High five.
No one ever listens
myself,
to me in that
and
game.
me.
and the captain. Oh no, it was Keith,
me.
myself, and
Yeah, it was
Jeremy.
you, me, and
We're
Keith.
all spies.
Oh, my
and
God.
that was nobody listened
glorious.
to Katie, and you were so angry. Oh, we've told this story
were
so many
so
times.
I know.
but
Well, the
it's-
problem, I can't convince anybody of anything that I say
Nope.
during those games.
I don't know if you know this, but when Keith and me and like Nathan, like there are people that are just really good at convincing people of things that play that game. Not everyone is, but there are some of us.
Brian hates Shadowhunters because the first time he played it was when we went to another friend of mine who's not in our social group, but he has a Friday board gaming thing, and I took Brian as my +1 to that one time, and we played Shadowhunters, and we played it twice. And both games, Brian was the character who has like next to no hit points, but her goal was to not die. Oof. She's a neutral, and she only has like 8 hit points. And both games he got that character, and both games like everybody just dogpiled on him for no reason. And I think between the two games he got like 1 turn. So he does not like that game anymore.
Is that the game that's got that kind of spiral?
Yeah,
down
and
the
then
center
the 6
there?
locations. And
Okay,
yeah.
Yep. I've liked that game. It was a little neat.
Yeah. Shadowhunters is less like Werewolf and Resistance, and it's more like Bang. I think it's the board game version of Bang.
Never played it. Bang.
Bang's good. I'll tell you what, I got tired of it because they played it at lunch every day, the guys at my work. But there's a dice version of Bang, which is also really surprisingly fun. And it's like almost entirely luck-based. Like there's don't obviously shoot at someone you can tell is on your team logic. But other than that, it's just like, roll dice, hope you get things that are good. Okay, I got things, they happen. But it's a fun little game. I played it too much. But it's surprising that both Bang and Dice Bang are fun. Like when they were like, we're gonna play Dice Bang, I was like, really?
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather play King of Tokyo if you're going to play a dice game?
Yes, I do like King of Tokyo better. And actually, they've started playing Citadels, which I also enjoy more. Like Citadels actually has a little bit of strategy. Like there's a lot of luck in Citadels, but there's strategy to it.
I stayed with Keith. I think when we went to, you were there, Nathan, weren't you? Was that?
I don't know.
But I played Citadels, and I just got stomped.
The problem with Citadels is you should switch out the thief and the...
Just play the second group entirely.
Yeah, well,
I
don't even care about the whole group, but you should play 1 and 2 from the alternate set. The Witch is so much better than the Assassin.
The entire alternate set is less extreme versions of the first set. And so it's a less brutal game. And you're right, the two that the less extreme are the biggest deal are the thief and the assassin.
Yeah.
Well, the assassin doesn't get it. Like it's
the assassin doesn't get you anywhere; it just ruins someone else's turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thief does. And the thief, when it's great, is great. And a lot of times you get almost nothing, and then every once in a while you're just like, I'm going to randomly just destroy you.
Yep.
But the architect always gets
Architect's
just
always
demolished.
good.
Well,
It's the one that always gets
The tax
assassinated.
collector,
No, she's saying like
who gets
like if you
assassinated
play
every
with the
time.
assassin and the thief, like if they don't get assassinated, you get thieved as the architect. Like otherwise, like the merchant and the architect always,
the merchant should always be assassinated.
yeah, and then the architect should always be thieved from. Like it's just
probably, yeah.
But yeah,
I just see a big face.
it's just Brian making faces.
Brian
and being
hates
angry at
all
things.
the games we're talking about.
Brian's angry about everything,
but he's not here to stop us.
That's true.
Remember when we used to go to Denny's? That was delicious.
I did enjoy that.
Good news.
What?
Lewis during the summer wants to really start that up again.
Okay.
Going out to
I thought you were
Denny's.
going to be like, good news, Lewis lost his job.
Yeah,
But he's talking.
Denny's used to be really popular when there were like 3 unemployed people that like
two of those unemployed people. Well, one of them employed now are coming back to Madison soon though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Keith and Marshall both.
Yep.
I'm very excited for them to come back.
I'll quit my job. Whatever. Denny's is worth it.
We're closing in on a month now.
I know. It's coming very soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince them to move a block away from us.
There is a house for sale, like right there.
Yeah, but there's a shooting.
No, there's a house that wasn't where the shooting was.
Oh, okay.
Also for sale, like a block from us.
Okay,
It's still
to be fair,
nearby.
I don't think that this shooting is a regular occurrence. This is the first time that's happened, and it was a big deal, and it happened in 3 separate locations in Madison, one of which was the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's...
I like how they we didn't realize one of them had happened on our street, but we just saw all like the news crews and the cops and everything, and this was like a couple weeks later. We were like, what's going on? So we like looked up like Chelsea Street News Madison, and it was like there was a shooting there. Well, I wish I'd known that.
I was actually happier when I didn't know.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but and like all 3 were like the article went into great detail. Apparently, all 3 were gang related. So yeah. It sucks. It is what it is.
So's your face. Snap. And that's Katie's kitchen. Oh no, we're still on Adepticon.
We are.
That was Vinny Vici.
Viticulture.
Viticulture. That was viticulture.
I should probably
Oh
give
my
a-
God! Shut up, Brian. What is he?
Let me give a quick shout out to everybody. So we did Who's the Boss?
Yes.
Another one. This time around, we ended up having all the painted casters, and they all converged at Adepticon. So I've got a long list of people. I already said it on Facebook, but I'm going to do it on the podcast here as well.
Okay.
Lauren Fahey, who's Griffin Roost Studios, painted up all my Scorn. Nathan...
That's Cheddar Caveman's wife, right?
That's Cheddar Caveman's wife. This Scorn just looks beautiful.
It does look really good.
There will be pictures eventually. They'll be put up on our site.
Hold your breath. It'll happen. Don't even worry about it.
It will. Nate Lawrenson had painted my Legion. For some odd reason, he calls himself Nathan Scott on the forums.
Okay.
Or on the Facebooks. Brian Kerr painted up my Circle.
Oh, nice.
Chris Suri painted up my Minions. Sad story about that is my Lord Carver took a dump.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
He
fell and then got stepped on.
Yeah.
That's a rough day for Lord Carver.
Yeah.
So,
well, to be fair, the guy was very loosely carrying him on the side of his tray with no support or protection whatsoever. What are
But
the
it was
odds
surely
of it
like
falling?
a full tray where the models are unlikely to fall out, right?
Yeah, probably not.
it actually was a full tray.
But he wasn't in a slot, I think. I think he was
Oh, it
just
was
up on the
loose on
side
the
like
tray.
the tray
Oh,
was
that's
full
not
or
good.
something.
Yeah.
That's no good.
So that accident has caused something new to happen, and I'm thinking it would actually work out better, like a mini delivery service for Who's the Boss. Basically, you spin up the caster, go to your table with your card, read over your card, and
We'll bring it to you.
and then we'll bring the caster to you. Because
That's a
battle
good idea.
damage at
That's
the
happened.
table.
That's happened. But it's happened several times that they've been dropped between the table and the wheel. That I can remember.
Why is it? How are people dropping casters? Like,
Well,
I don't
because they've
understand.
got their tray, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm going to just take this caster. I'm just walking over the table. I'm just going to like put them loosely on here." Like the getting stepped on was extreme, but I have seen several of the casters dropped.
Yeah, because people's trays are like full
Yeah.
with their army, and then all of a sudden there's another model, and they're like, "Well, I guess I'll have the tray here, and then I'll just kind of hold him with these 2 fingers because I'm carrying the tray."
Or like you roll Terminus and you just don't have a huge slot open on your tray, or a large slot or something like
Well,
that.
yeah, but you can put your models down and then come back. And
You
get
could
your
if you weren't
Exactly.
an
But
idiot.
people don't.
Yeah, the other thing though too is a lot of people carry the card like this, and they have
with
the model on top of the card.
Yeah, which is
so they don't have a very good grip on it. So miniature delivery system, they'll be probably happening.
Yes.
So that was by Chris Suri. Nick Kleeman painted up my Signar. Oh my God, they look beautiful as well.
I didn't look at the Signar.
Oh,
I believe you.
yeah. Marshall Wentworth painted up all my Cricks.
Nice.
Rick Way painted up my Kador.
Kador, of course.
The majority of my Kador. Matt Channing painted up one of Strakoff for it, and then my phone just shut off.
That's helpful.
Stuart Liming painted up my Protectorate. Stu's pretty sexy. He still has a couple more models to paint for me. Jason Watt painted up all my Convergence. And
Is that Legal Gun?
No, Jason Watt.
Oh, Jason Watt.
Yeah.
Oh, like Watt.
Yeah,
like
Okay.
Diamond
Like
Watt.
Watt. Dude.
like Jason Watt. Yeah, painted up my
I
Convergence.
just noticed Legal Gun was selling
Who's
Convergence.
Jason Watt? Who's Watt?
Watt.
He is
like
one of
Lord
the
Tyrant Watt on the forums.
He's one of the high championship caliber
Yeah.
players.
He
beautiful
played,
painter.
I'm trying to think. He wasn't at Adepticon at the finals table, but he's been a ton of finals tables.
He's been second in a lot of events.
He's been second in a
recently.
lot lately. Like, well,
He was cheered on for that.
He went back to his Scorn, right? Because he was doing Convergence, and he
doing
just
Scorn.
couldn't get first with his Convergence. He got like a lot of second place finishes with his Convergence.
Yeah.
Well, he got including Iron Gauntlet, like the final Iron Gauntlet. He played versus Jay and got second with his Convergence.
Correct. He got second. I believe. I think it was Masters or
At
Nathan.
Adepticon?
Nathan's.
He's peeing.
Oh, he's peeing. Never mind.
What do you think he's...
my nose. What?
Oh, Jason got second for Convergence, or not Convergence, but for Masters or IG?
At Adepticon?
Yeah, I think it was Masters.
Maybe. I don't know. He wasn't playing Convergence anyway.
No, but he was playing a Scorn.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. He got second. No, it wasn't Iron Gauntlet, because Iron Gauntlet, I forget who Jay beat. He beat John Carter.
Yeah, so then it was Masters then. It was, okay. All right. Anyway, they look freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Charles Foster III painted up my mercenaries for Italian charter. I got Legal Gun, Jason Coates, painted up my Magnuses.
Oh, just the Magnus is nice.
Yep. Davis Messer, he's has that beautiful Signa army that with the
Sam
with
says
the
we're all
checkerboard.
wrong that Brett Fogel was second at IG, so Watt wasn't second at either one. He might have gotten like third or something, but
Yeah, I didn't think he was second in anything, but you guys kept insisting.
Well, Travis,
so.
tell us. Oh yeah, he got second at Masters. That's what I said.
Brett Fogel was second
Oh,
at
okay.
Adepticon, and he was not
At
either
Iron
one.
Gauntlet. Oh, well, Jay won Iron Gauntlet,
Jay won
and
Iron
his
Gauntlet.
last game was against...
against Brett Fogel. Then.
Yeah, Brett Fogel.
Yes.
No. I thought his
Yeah,
last game was
Travis is right. Yeah,
But getting second doesn't mean that he's the person he played the last
I
round.
think
We're
for
saying
IG
two
and
different
Masters
things.
they do. I think they do final stable variants for both those events.
Oh.
I think that might be true. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Question mark. Oh, wait, he
yeah,
was second
no.
in Masters. He said he totally was second in Masters.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just wrong.
Oh, my
We're
Jesus.
just- never mind. Read Travis's comments. You'll figure it out.
I don't want to read his comments. Read your fucking list of painters.
I'm almost done.
Go faster. Read
So
faster.
Davis Messer paints up Damiano and McBain. Ashland was donated by Tim Rich, and Durgan Gordon was actually donated by. Well, not donated, but I bought it from somebody else, and the original painter was Arcantire.
Okay.
But then I also had Jordan Knock, Jeremy Kofoot, Matthew Bunting, Adam Bowl, and Felix, all donated miniatures to let us use those.
Oh, so
miniatures
somebody
for the-
donated Rhett then?
So there's a couple donated Rhett that were in there. They were my Rhett. That
I knew your
Rhett
Rhett was probably in there. Your Rhett looks really good.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I spent a whole bunch of press ganger points to get raffles
Yeah.
for there. We gave away a Sacrovault, a Titan Extreme Gladiator, a Brenos.
Brenos. So somebody lost.
No. He's a beautiful model. Drew Golden Wilder.
Did you see him in person?
I saw him in person with two right legs.
That's interesting.
They missed-
In person, he looks a lot better.
They missed the ones, at least several of the ones they had at Adepticon that were missed packs. And so they had two of the right leg and no left leg in there.
Why is he defense 11? Like, if he was like 14, 17, or 13,
He's like an old man beast stat.
Unplayable trash.
I
We gotta get Jim on here. We have to have Jim do the circle one.
No, Cheddar Caveman already has said he's going to come on and he's going to do things. He's going to explain the faction while Katie drinks on the other microphone and just hurls obscenities
Okay.
or whatever she wants to do,
Okay.
which I think would be amazing.
Okay.
I would very much enjoy watching Katie just get drunk while Chad talks.
no.
about
Every once in a while,
circles.
she'll just look up from Candy Crush and go, "What?" and then
No,
go
the
back
deal
down.
is she has to actually pay attention. She can drink as much as she wants, but she can't be on her iPad.
Also, I haven't been on my iPad this much this episode, and you guys talked a lot about War Machines, so I feel like I should get some credit over
High
here. High five.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you.
Okay. Yes.
Now it just looks like you're saluting Hitler. You're just doing this across the table.
Well, now you are.
Like, the people who are bringing up racist things are not me. Yes, I'm overachieving on them, but it's coming from you.
You're not starting it. You
you're
just finish it.
I just finished the conversation. You're the instigator.
Here's what it is, though. Both of my jokes were calling you racist, and then you responded by being racist.
Well, it's funny
There's
that
a-
way. Also, I wasn't actually being fun. I was just.
You weren't
giving
being funny. That's a good point.
Shut up! I was giving a high five, and then you were all like, "You're being racist."
Was that me? Andy, did you play back the audio?
Yeah,
I could have sworn that was
could have
me.
sworn that was Nathan.
I hate you. Why am I here?
Because you forgot about how much you hated us.
Because you aren't working today.
Congratulations on not working today.
A whole
Yes.
day.
It's pretty good.
One whole day.
I was very excited to just get Jeremy, and then Jeremy called me this morning. He's like, Katie wants to come too. And I'm like, woo! Excellent.
Yeah, they thought they were going to get just me, and they were all very sad.
No, I was excited.
You were excited. It's been a long time since I've been on.
Yeah.
And now we see why.
To let people know too, I know that there's a Zappity grumble. Crumble.
Crumble.
Yeah, there's a Zappity Grumble question
Crumble.
that basically had said that there was and now that Jeremy was replaced. Jeremy wasn't replaced. Neither Katie has been replaced. It's been you guys took a hiatus.
We were on sabbatical.
I'm busy.
Yeah, we have been really busy actually. But
Like this is. It's not like we get paid for doing this.
No, unfortunately.
So you have to hold down a job or something.
at some point you do. And like theoretically, I could have been coming without Katie, but it was one of those things where like we
didn't
literally
want
went
him?
to her office and like helped her do her job because her coworker. Well, they're not even coworkers. Her reportees.
Well, they're all
Whatever you
new.
call
Like
them.
the
They're all
problem is,
new.
like the entire accounting department turned over, and so like the one that's been there the longest has been there less than 3 months.
Not counting you.
Not counting me.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah,
like,
it's rough.
they're just it just takes a little bit longer. They have to get trained.
Yeah. So I went in and like literally like read through compared numbers and stuff. It was super exciting.
He was double checking my work.
And then other Sundays, it's just like I could come record with you guys, or I could bring Katie dinner because she's not going to be home till 8. And
that
bringing Katie
seems-
dinner wins.
That seems to be a much better husbandry
At the end
thing
of the
to do.
day, yeah, because my job is staying married. Okay, so I have to share this story because this is ridiculous. So Katie and I, we were working on the Katie's Kitchen stuff. So we're sitting in the office and we're like watching the videos. And so I'm at my normal desk chair, and then there's another chair, like kind of where Katie's sitting right now. And she had a blanket on and whatever. And she gets up to like we're done with the videos or whatever, and I'm still puttering a little bit. So she gets up to go do whatever, and she just like leaves the chair there and throws the blanket on the floor and like. I like 10 minutes later, just like she like calls me from the other room, and I'm like, oh man! So I try to jump up, and I just like couldn't extricate myself from where I was, like between the blanket and the chair, and like I think the dog was there. Like it was just like I couldn't get out, and so I'm like, I'm trying to come, but I'm trapped. And she was like, I know, and I was like, I don't really get what's like. I'm walking over towards where she is, and she's like, no, I know, you totally are. And I walk into the room, and she reaches down and grabs my finger, and she goes, yeah, you are. I was like, God damn
It
it!
wasn't a very good story.
It wasn't. I was waiting for a funny part
It
to
was
happen.
funny, damn it!
Yeah.
See,
Also,
complete-
you're not the one who's trapped because you married up like a motherfucker. Okay. like it's like in Watchmen. You're not trapped in here. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. That's what you should have said to Katie at the end of
That is
that.
what I should have said. That's true. That would be a good response.
Jeremy's Rorschach.
It's just that it's a witty one-liner that you've turned into a whole story.
I ruined it. I don't know. I'm out of
One-liners-
practice. I'm out of
one-liner-
practice.
Yay.
Travis did point out that husbandry is related to horses as well. Well, Katie is the thoroughbred of suit.
She is the thoroughbred of sin. She's even wearing the shirt.
It's true. This is one of my favorite shirts, by the way, Andy. Thank you for it.
It is a really cool shirt.
You know, too, though.
Yay!
It's a theme today.
Except I just blew my nose.
No, you peed.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes when I
through
blow
your
my
nose.
nose, I pee a little.
Apparently.
You know.
You have to change your pants.
I watched the first episode of Fringe, so I'm getting on that.
Oh, nice.
That's topical because somebody pees themselves in that, and it's funny.
Oh, do they? Okay. I didn't
Well, like they have you seen Fringe?
I have not.
It's got the guy from Fringe in it, and
I
so
figured.
they're driving after picking him up from the insane asylum, and he's in the back seat. All of a sudden, he goes, "Oh!" and they're like, "What?" He's like, "I just wet my pants, just a little squirt."
You know what we've been watching,
It was
basically
funny.
on a recommendation from you, and there hasn't been an episode in a few weeks, sadly, but is Constantine.
Yeah.
We've been enjoying immensely.
Yeah.
Did that get picked up, or did that get picked
might
up
have
by a
got
different
canceled.
network? Though,
Yeah,
I
so
heard.
there's been talk. I need to double check because I haven't seen it in a while because it almost was like they stopped filming.
Yeah, there were like
They
5 or 6
almost stopped
episodes.
at like 6 episodes, but then it kept going,
Yep.
and then there was talk that it was going to move to the Sci-Fi Channel, and they were going to rename it Hellblazer, which was the name of the Constantine's the main character in the comic book
Hellblazer.
Hellblazer. So there was talk it's going to move, and like literally all of it, like all the cast, all the crew, 100% of the staff was going to move
That'd be cool.
to Sci-Fi Channel with a different name. But that was a couple months ago. I read that, and I haven't looked into it again, so I don't know.
Brian
if it's
says
still
it has
true.
not been picked up yet.
Okay.
And he does follow TV a
Yeah.
frightening amount.
Yeah.
So he might know.
Oh, and I'm glad he also said, because I meant to ask him. I knew that one of the seasons of Fringe was the worst thing ever, and I couldn't remember if it was season 3 or 4. It's apparently season
Apparently
4.
season 4 is the worst thing.
Is that the one
But
where
every time that the old guy's on screen, well, not every time, but every once in a while we'll be watching, I'll be like, oh, Raylene, look, it's that guy from Fringe. Because that's what I call him every time we see him on Sleepy Hollow. So
Oh.
now that we're watching him on Fringe, I like to keep calling him the guy, from Fringe.
That makes sense. But yeah, I enjoyed Constantine. I'm sad to hear that it might not be picked up because I was enjoying it. But
Yeah.
meh.
Well, I mean, if it did well enough, I mean, some place will probably pick it up. It could
Probably.
it could probably be made over on Hulu. I mean, there's Hulu, there's Amazon Prime, there's Netflix. They're actually all making their own series now. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's pretty good.
The last episode was pretty cliffhangery, reveal-y thing, if it's the episode I think of. There was a
remember.
trusted character who revealed that they're actually an evil person.
I think I did see that one, but
That's the last episode I saw, and I usually Hulu tells me.
Oh,
when there's new episodes.
Yes.
So if that's the end of the series, it'll be a hell of a place to never have another episode.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a way to end it.
Fingers crossed it gets picked up either as Constantine or as Hellblazer on the Sci-Fi Channel.
That would be cool.
Because I think it did decently well.
Yeah, we were.
Which show?
Constantine.
Oh, I like that show.
Right.
It didn't get renewed?
Well, it's apparently maybe canceled, maybe moving.
It's on the bubble.
Yeah, like it's on a bubble right now. That's what we were talking about.
I really enjoyed it. Like, I thought at first that the actor was not doing a very good job, but I got used to him.
Yeah.
It'll probably be. I bet you it'll get picked up.
I mean, it's a quirky sci-fi show on Fox. Those always do well.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God.
No. It's Constantine is on not on Fox.
Oh, is it not on Fox?
No, I think it's a NBC. Maybe?
Speaking of, have you
It's
guys
one
been following the Indiegogo for Con Man at all?
No.
Okay, so
I watched the one trailer and I was like, that was cute, and then I stopped giving a shit.
So there's literally one, like they do these little videos every time they like break one of their goals, and one of the videos he's literally like drawing a finger flip and then writing the word Fox underneath it, and then Nathan Fillion comes running on screen and like stops him and erases the whole board. He's literally just like fuck Fox. It's actually pretty clever. I've enjoyed the little videos.
That was a toot.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
No,
that would be bad.
Did you see the Ryan Reynolds dressed up in Deadpool's outfit?
Nope.
Laying on like the bearskin rug?
Yeah. It's looks pretty good.
It's something.
There's roughly 100% chance that the Deadpool movie will be terrible,
So is that a movie?
which is
Pain Train
unfortunate.
It probably
The Deadpool will be a
Patreon.
movie pain train. Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
Pain Train.
it's
I have high
you guys done a Pain
hopes.
Train?
it's either going to be too wacky or not wacky enough. It's so even the actual Deadpool comics, I think 90% of them are terrible because it's really hard to get Deadpool right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Deadpool is he alone, but not the rest of the cast, is constantly breaking the third wall.
Fourth wall.
Fourth wall. Sorry, it's like Zach on.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by
Well,
the
Saved by the Bell,
always do it well.
They do it well, but it's hard to do well.
Well, yeah.
Ferris Bueller did it well.
Ferris Bueller did it well, but Ferris Bueller doesn't break it a lot. He breaks it every once in a while.
The example that we've used, I think that's been conversations with Andy or Jim or whoever, but various ones have had this stance, is that Wayne's World, but as an action film. Like, Wayne's World breaks the fourth wall the correct amount as well.
Yes.
It has the right amount of self-awareness. So if Deadpool gets that amount...
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's
I've
hard.
never seen Wayne's World.
Really?
Is it good?
Yes, both Wayne's World is an amazing film. Wayne's World 2 is a legitimately decent sequel.
It is also very topical to Wayne's World too.
Yeah.
Because you ever see that movie in Scanners when the guy said, yeah.
Wow. Like,
No, it's
This is
just
the episode of great anecdotes.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
excellent.
We're so good at the end.
Good
of it.
jobs.
We're funny.
Wayne's World is a good film.
Wayne World
So
is good.
who are you replaced with?
Huh?
Earlier, Andy was saying that you got replaced.
Oh, somebody commented that they thought I was replaced or something like that. I assume Jim.
Jim?
I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, we've had various
It's a
people
little bit
on.
funny because Jim is so negative and you're so positive and happy-go-lucky.
I tried.
Jim was oddly positive throughout all the podcasts, but then
I've
his
been listening to the podcast. I don't know if that's 100% true.
He broke down in the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like that most recent one, he was super negative. Like,
Yeah.
or as I like to think of it, classic Jim.
Classic Jim.
Yep. He for a while there we had a whole taste of new Coke,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
then the
nah,
old Coke.
go back to classic.
Like you get flashes of Jim in some of the first few episodes he did with you guys. Like every once in a while, like there'd be the level of happiness here, and then we'd have the Jim dip, and then we'd be back again. But like that last episode, Jim was just like,
Well, it was one of those. I don't feel like I tricked him into being in the podcast, but I invited him over for watching Breaking Bad. Before then, he did mention he didn't really want to do the podcast.
well, that would explain why he was like,
yeah, he was
don't do it.
Jim cracks me up. I don't know that he's one of those people that I don't know that he means to be funny, but I find him hysterical.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I really enjoy other people's misery.
I have to say,
Again, Katie is the bad
watching
person.
Jim and Katie troll a room is one of the most glorious things you can ever witness.
Well, Jim is actually actively trying to hurt somebody, and I'm just seeing how far you can push it.
Which is the same thing at the end of the day.
No, like
So Jim's actively stabbing somebody, and then you're like, I'm just gonna see if I
Just
can
push it forward into the dagger a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit more.
No, she's more like the guy from Saw, where she's not actually doing the murder.
She's letting
seeing
you
if
hurt
she
yourself.
Yeah, she's
Force
seeing if
other
she can
people?
break your spirit into the point where that happens to occur. But she didn't put you in the bear trap. She just put you adjacent to one and then had a gun to your family. No denial whatsoever.
Words. But you're so pretty.
well, it's just so funny how, like, very rarely people call you out on stuff like that. Like,
Really? I feel like we as a group call you out on that all the time.
yeah.
But the internet has watched 100 episodes of Katie, and they still think she's the sweet, kind, friendly, nicest one on the podcast. Like, I go to conventions and people are like, "It's nice to see you, but where's the nice one? Where's Katie?" I'm like, I don't know where the nice one is, but it's not Katie.
So I was so happy about that interaction at Adepticon. It made my day.
Well, I
I wish I knew who that was. It's probably the guy who spilled beer all over.
There was somebody, like, I tried to break him the entire time, and I finally had to just stop being mean to him because I felt so bad.
Was it green?
No, it wasn't green.
Travis just said you're his spirit animal, by the way.
Yeah, I am. I think it might have been Charles Foster.
It might have been Charles Foster. Oh, Charlie. I really enjoyed Adepticon this year. Hilariously, I didn't play in a single tournament, and I had a blast. I played like 4 or 5 games of War Machine total, all Iron Arena.
Charlie was telling me about how...
Maybe more than that, but not a lot more.
The first time he met me was when I flipped my shit on Josh Russell. That was literally the first time Charles Foster III had ever seen me. That was his introduction. And so he after that just thought I was the biggest shithead on the planet.
Well, to be fair,
and then after more interactions with Josh Russell, he's like, oh, I should give this Nate guy a second chance because maybe from his side.
Oh, Russell.
Yep. All right. We need to do some Zappity grumbles.
Moving on to Zappities and grumbles. Yeah, let's grumble the zaps.
All right, I got Twitter. I'm going to do them all this time, Nathan, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit there and listen. We had troubles after you left.
I remember. I've been listening, and every time it starts Zappity grumble, I'm like, oh, God. Rails train off of them. Like, this is just bad.
So's your face.
So I had made a mention that Jeremy was back, and Matthew Lust immediately responded with, does he have to? About Jeremy being back.
I like the grammatical incorrectness there. That's great. Jeremy's back. Does he have to?
Thanks, Matt. Love you too, buddy.
Robert Darifsky asks...
Because I make a mess too.
As you destroy my equipment.
I try.
I thought Jeremy was just an excuse to get Katie on. Like when your mom used to let you go to the park if you took your kid brother.
So I'm the kid brother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katie's the perk.
No.
Yes. Yeah, we're
in the story, you get to go to the park.
Right, because
and I'm the kid brother.
Yeah, but he was the kid. So I would be the kid.
No, you would. No. They would be the older
brother.
The
podcast would be the park.
No, you would be the park.
You're the thing that is wanted.
Yes.
You're the
I'm
positive.
the thing you have to take.
Yeah.
They're the older brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
You're the park.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that's what Andy meant
No,
to go with.
no. I think where it's meant to go there is that Katie is the older brother, that her mom is going to let her go to the park only if she takes you.
Only if she brings
But that would imply that Katie wants to be on the podcast is the issue. And that's what Jeremy and I
that
are
is
saying.
tricky.
We're not a reward for her if she suffers him. She's the reward for
you
us
guys
if we suffer him.
Through
so
me.
We're the kid. She's the park that we all want to be in.
I'm the little brother.
And he's the little brother.
Do I close at 10?
That's what I heard from Jeremy.
Zappity open to the public.
Zappity
oh my God. Zappity, dear God, Zappity.
All right, Green asks, which Disney princess are you?
Katie actually did I don't know, it was Disney princess.
No, it was just what kind of princess
were you?
What kind
He
of
asked
Disney
this. He asked that same thing before, I think.
Possible. I don't remember answering
Let me think about it. Andy, you start.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Raylene put something on her Facebook a couple days ago, which was that, everybody wants to be a Disney princess, but she just wants to be Yzma. And it's hard to disagree with that. Like, I would totally be Yzma.
She is really funny.
She needs to be on Once Upon a Time. Just Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton could be Kronk. Like, just bring them the fuck over. As long as they're going to have, like, Cruella de Vil and stuff on there, might as well get Yzma.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Yzma?
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, yes.
She's the funny one. That's Eartha Kitt?
Eartha Kitt,
yeah.
That's what I said. She played herself. Fine. Tell us where the talking llama is, or we'll burn your house to the ground.
That is a surprisingly funny movie.
It's a great movie. I don't think it gets enough credit.
Well, I think the problem with that movie is like they tread that fine line where they want to be good for kids and good for grown-ups. That one in my opinion, falls more into it's very enjoyable for grown-ups and less. Like, my kid brothers were kids when it came out, and they enjoyed it less.
I think it suffers. I think it suffers from something that was completely outside of its control. I believe that it is one of the animated Disney films that came out after Pixar came out.
And so it was just
and
suffering.
Pixar was just like, we're fucking Pixar.
We're Pixar,
and everybody's like,
bitches.
Disney, we don't care about you anymore because have you seen Toy Story?
Yeah, have you seen what these guys
Have you
are doing?
seen Monsters Inc.? I mean, what are you even doing still existing?
I think Monsters Inc. isn't as good as Emperor's New Groove.
I don't necessarily either.
I don't know
but
if
I'm
I
just
agree
saying
with
that people really turned away from Disney. Like there was this golden age with The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and
Yes.
everything, and then Pixar happened, and all of a sudden that golden age ended. And I don't think it's a coincidence because the quality. I mean, yeah, there was shit like Home on the Range, but like
But a lot of their- I'm sure
Treasure
a bunch of
Planet
their-
isn't a bad movie.
But I'm sure a bunch of
Emperor's
their
New Groove
guys
isn't a
went
bad
to
movie.
Pixar, too.
That is number one possible, but I don't think it's a quality thing. I don't think movies like Treasure Planet and Emperor's New Groove are bad. I think that just the public shifted.
They
Well,
shifted
the art
to the
shifted.
art
The
style.
art shifted too. The art style is very different in those.
Yep.
Also,
like,
I'm going with Leia.
like Lilo and
Is your Disney
Stitch.
princess?
That's my Disney princess.
That's
I'll be
fair.
Leia.
That's fair.
'Cause she's awesome.
Also, like Lilo and Stitch was the first movie to start having animation back into like having the old school style of backgrounds and everything
Yep.
back in.
Yeah, and
that
that
was-
also didn't do particularly well.
No,
I
it
mean,
did not.
that's what I'm saying is like this whole thing. There's this whole time when Disney was still doing traditional animation, and there's like 5 or 6 Disney films in a row that bombed, and all of those happened between the time Pixar came out and when Disney acquired Pixar and also switched to that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I think it's just the public stopped giving a shit about hand-drawn animation.
They might have. But that doesn't tell us which princess you are.
I want to say kind of similar to like other
Just take Thor.
female people. No, she's not.
Thor's
Princess.
Disney.
No.
You're not going to take Thor as a Disney princess?
No.
All right. I mean, Thor's a princess and
But
Disney
you want to
property.
have. I don't like a lot of the old school Disney princesses, really,
really?
because they're more of just a
Damsel in distress.
just a damsel in distress. They're just kind of.
I don't know that they are. Like, if you take Ariel, like, she's pretty kick-ass. She does
Ariel's much
all...
more recent.
She's talking like Sleeping Beauty
Sleeping
and
Beauty
Cinderella.
and Cinderella and that. They're just more of just kind of privileged in a sense.
Yeah.
I guess I like a little bit more independence in.
So be what's her nuts from Brave, the chick whose name nobody knows
Yeah,
because
no
she's
one
the
knows.
one from
the one
Brave.
from Brave, yeah. The red-haired one.
Or be the 12-year-old Indian who got raped by a bunch of guys.
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
No, I'll be the
Mulan's
gal
pretty good.
from Brave.
Okay.
I
Or it could be-
and I
it could be
applaud.
Lilo.
No, she's not. She's not actually a princess.
I suppose not.
Now, all the others are actual
That's fair.
princesses.
So, I am going to pick one, but it's not actually a Disney princess. I really liked Anastasia. I thought she was really awesome.
Didn't Disney do an Anastasia?
No, it
Nope,
wasn't
that
a
was-
Disney
It
film.
wasn't Disney.
That was
It
outside of Disney.
I forget who it was.
It was really good, though. I enjoyed
It was
that.
probably DreamWorks.
I don't think it was. I think it was like because who did like the Swan Princess and
Miranda. Miranda is her name from.
Oh, yeah,
Miranda.
Miranda.
There was that other shitty
Yeah.
one with Steve Urkel as a talking chicken.
I don't even know what that one is.
What?
There was an animated film that had the guy who played Urkel as a talking
Yeah,
chicken.
the sky is falling.
No, not that one.
It wasn't Chicken Little.
No.
I
This
have
is
no
a
idea.
non-Disney one, which is the reason
is
I
it
brought it up.
DreamWorks?
We're grinding to a halt.
This
Yeah.
is,
See, this is what happens when I listen.
Jeremy, you're the only one who hasn't given us a Disney princess.
I'm a Disney princess. I'm Belle. I always liked Belle. She's book smart and she's kick ass, and I like Belle a lot.
as Gaston, and I do love the guy who plays the live action version of Gaston.
Fox Animation produced Anastasia.
There was a fantastic video of a guy at Disney World was like trying to show off for his like it was like a 20-something-year-old guy
Yeah.
trying to show off for his
Yeah.
girl, and he's like challenges their Gaston to like an
One-arm push-ups?
Yeah, one
Yeah.
arm push-ups, and Gaston just fucking wrecks him.
Yeah.
Like they're doing 2-handed push-ups, and Gaston starts doing one just as fast. He's like, because he needs an extra arm, like he needs a hand. Like, oh my god, he just destroys him.
That
video-
guy is a great Gaston. His interaction with that like 6-year-old girl is also amazing. Have you
I don't
seen
know
that
if
one?
I've seen that one.
She's like being totally sassy, talking about how Beast is gonna beat you up and Beast is the best and everything. And he's like, "Why are you talking to me? Go make a sandwich. That's what you're for." it's great. And people, oh my god, fucking YouTube comments. And people are like, he shouldn't say that to a girl, blah blah blah, because that encourages gender stereotypes. I'm like,
character.
he's the villain.
Yeah.
The girl knows that anything he says is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, calm down, people.
But that guy's amazing. That when he does the push-up thing, I was just like losing my crap. That was
guy's
amazing.
Yeah, the 6-year-old interaction is amazing.
It's also
too.
good.
Yeah,
I'll have to
he's,
check that one out.
he is the best.
All right, so Belle,
Zappity.
Grumble.
Grumble.
All right, how did you like the new venue for Adepticon? Jason Tick
God.
asks.
It was amazing.
He's
It was
like,
a lot
I thought
better.
it was. Felt
Quest
nice.
for Camelot was the one
With the
where
chicken?
Steve Urkel was a talking chicken.
Okay.
Well, he was like
for camera?
he was the bad guy had demons that were like living weapons, and then he somehow got crossed with a chicken, and then there was another whatever. The point is, it was a terrible movie, and he was in it. And I didn't check who made it, which was the whole point. I looked it up before she took the phone.
I'm sorry, it's not like he had more before I interrupted him. The question.
He just thought it was nice to have such a large space. It was a much better venue than the previous one. Having Privateer not felt like it was just stuck in a meeting room. Was good.
Did you hear? I don't know if Sam told you this. Sam told me that area that was outside that was like a third us, a third Warhammer, and a third is all War Machine next year.
Oh, wow.
Like we have that whole area for Iron Arena, and then the end of the room will be just tournaments.
That was the big
really
issue.
Cool idea.
Big issue this time around was Iron Arena was not big enough. Having only like 8 tables for Iron Arena was.
Well, people were just spreading on the tables that weren't supposed to be Iron Arena, which was problematic.
At Adepticon, War Machine keeps being just barely too big for the space it's in because they keep expanding at the same rate that they keep giving more space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which, I mean, it's just hilarious that every single time. Yeah, it's like the pants I buy.
Yeah.
It's a nice problem,
which is a less good problem.
Yeah.
Zappity.
Grumble.
If Imran gave up on this never-ending war between countries, cults, and tribes, and instead agreed to let wrestling decide which victories, which faction would be given the title belt, and who would each faction submit, not limited to warcasters, warlocks, or could be solos.
Gators legitimately have luchadors as a war beast.
Yeah,
so that's
the wrestler.
Yeah, they do.
The black-eyed wrestler would be theirs.
Yeah.
I would say that Butcher would probably make a good wrestler.
Butcher would probably be good. He'd be pretty all right.
I mean, he's already got a wrestling name. I mean, he's basically it. He's got the crazy mentality. I would love to watch an interview by the Butcher.
You know who I'm going for, because I think in the fluff he's got to be like totally the one who is legit most likely to be a WWE wrestler, and nobody's going to think of him because nobody feels him on the goddamn table. It's Bloody Barnabas.
I can see
that guy's whole thing is that he's a drunken barroom brawler.
That's true.
Like that guy will throw you through a table.
Well, we already have Gators though.
Or not Barnabas. I'm sorry, Bradigus. Bloody Bradigus. Bloody Bradigus.
Oh, from Mercenaries. Yeah. Yep. I also think, though, the mechanical arm Magnus might be good, too.
Sure.
Seems like
because he could use that as a foreign object, because, you know.
I don't think Red has a single character that I would, like, even put forward as WWE. Like,
well, you could have...
They're just all flimsy and girlified.
Yeah.
Gareth
so they'd
could be like
No.
Gareth could be the old man.
Gareth would not wrestle. Gareth would
not.
Well,
okay, then...
Come on. WWF had Gold Dust.
I suppose.
So one of your elf guys can do that.
The Artificer. The Artificer looks like a wrestler. Like Hulk Hands? Yeah. Hulk Hands looks like he could wrestle. He'd get work done.
All right,
Can I submit Getarex?
I feel like you should.
That's who I would pick.
Either Getarex or Chromac, I think, would be a good choice for.
Chromac doesn't hit hard enough.
Well, I feel like Getarex and Chromac would be one of those, like, they tap in, tap out, like the tag teams. Like, they'd be a great tag team.
You know who'd be a great tag team?
Who's that?
Sturm and Drang. he could be wrestling, and then he could literally just tag himself in and then just keep wrestling, but in a different style.
That would be amazing.
Also, it's hard to pin a centaur.
It would be hard to pin a centaur.
You could sure as hell suplex them.
You could. The Rock can.
Yep. What else we got? We got a Protectorate.
Nobody cares.
Come on. I mean,
no, it'd be one of the stupid
the legions.
Legions Order of the Fist of the Wave. You know.
Somebody says it can't be a real crippled system because I see Katie. I think it's Charlie
Foster the Third.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Book would be a good wrestler because they would just sit there and take a beating.
He would be their He would be their manager on the side, like Paul Bearer, and just making sure they couldn't be knocked down.
I'm just gonna sit here and read a book and you'll be fine. Don't worry, it'll be great.
They get suplex and then just bounce back up onto their feet.
Side note: fuck the Book. By the way, fucking hate that model.
Yeah, it would be okay if it weren't for Ancient Shroud. It would be a solid 2-point solo if you could kill it if you got to it.
Yeah, or shot it or something.
Yeah, I mean, it can be far enough back. It's protectable. It doesn't need Ancient Shroud.
The problem is they can jam it down your fucking throat and it still doesn't die.
That's my point, because of Ancient Shroud. Yeah. Ancient Shroud is the issue.
You just have to have enough shooting to hit it 5 times.
Did you ever see either of you, or I don't know if you especially, I think, were in a big no quarter reader or whatever, but the scenario, this might predate you, where Garrick Voyle. So Garrick Voyle was the leader of Menoth before he died for plot reasons. There's a scenario where you could play as him, And the big thing was, so he had like 20 hit points, and he had Ancient Shroud as a Warcaster. So you had to hit him 20 times. He had 3 melee weapons, one of which was him actually using the Power of Menoth. It was a POW 25 Weapon Master Armor Piercer with decap.
So I hit you, you're dead.
Yeah, the minimum he could do to an Armor 20 model was 46 damage with Snake Eyes.
Holy crap.
It was great. There was a whole scenario. It was like him versus an army, and it wasn't even a contest.
It was
just him, like one-shotting jacks and just murdering everything.
He's the wrestler I pick.
Yeah, Gareth Moyle would fucking win.
Or Vintner.
Voyle would murder Vintner.
Well, yeah, because Vintner can't use a sword.
Vinter is coming.
I know, Vinter is coming.
So intrigued. Privateer Press did the Vinter is coming thing, and somebody tweeted, they're like, really, Privateer Press? A parody and a pun? You're better than this. And Privateer Press responded, no we're not. I'm like, I don't know who tweeted that, but they're my new favorite staffer.
That was fantastic. Zappity.
Grumble. What is the one video game you played when you were younger and that has held up the best today?
Mario Kart.
That's a good answer.
That's a good one.
That's a very good answer.
Really, any of the side-scroll... I love side-scroll games. Like, all the original Super Marios and Legend of Zelda 2, like, I'll play the fuck out of those.
Yeah.
Bionic Commando for me.
Yeah, side-scroll.
Even the original game, I still play that. I've got a Game Boy Advance, I play that. And the remake that they made was really good, too.
Tetris.
No,
I don't really play Tetris anymore.
But
Tetris it holds up.
It holds up. It holds up very well. But yeah, any side scroll, because they don't. The thing with those and with things like Tetris or whatever is that it's not about the graphics.
Yeah,
you know, and so that's why the things that people finally remember from their old games are things either RPGs, I think, where they really like the plot, like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that, or old school Sonic and Mario and shit like that.
All the Final Fantasies I feel like hold up really well. Like up to the point where they're not good anymore, but the ones that were good, hold up. Bionic Commando was great.
No, just
and now is the Vinter of your discontent. Really, Charlie? Really?
It's good that he tries, though.
You're so pretty.
But like I do like companies that take the old school games that we played and just give it a graphic upgrade, and they don't actually change the gameplay of that. Like the new and tasty for Oddworld, is the exact same thing as Abe's Odyssey, but just beautiful graphics.
I was looking at the wiki for the Oddworld games. I didn't realize that I was still there. Just looking for stuff and everything, and apparently they're talking that they're going to finish the Pentology because New and Tasty is doing so well that they put all those other games back into production. Which is super excites me because that's one of the things I've always been sad about was that Pentology was never finished.
They after
I love that world and it was explored so little.
It is. It's probably one of my favorite things. I'm so excited for it to come back.
I'll tell you what I wish they would make more of, and I've actually gone back and played these somewhat recently and still love them, was the King's Quest and Space Quest games. Were amazing, and there's no reason they couldn't do a new one.
Point-and-click adventures died pretty much. Have you ever played Grim Fandango?
No, I've heard of it, but never
Grim Fandango was just re-released.
Okay.
Like, you can get it, they re-up the controls. It's on the PlayStation 4. It's on PC and everything. It is my favorite of the LucasArts points-and-clicks adventure games. It's really good. The plot's amazing. The gameplay's amazing. The humor's great. The character's great.
I might have to try that.
You really, I will give you a personal money-back guarantee. If you go home and you download Grim Fandango for your PS4 and you do not like it, I will pay you.
You realize you're giving that promise to someone who has yet to finish Portal 2.
That's fine. Give me Portal 2 back. I want to play it again. But Grim Fandango is amazing. Do you like...
Portal 2 I downloaded, I thought. I borrowed Portal 1 and I downloaded Portal 2.
No, I loaned you both of them.
All right.
I brought Portal 1 over. I sat there while you played through the entire thing, and then I loaned you Portal 2.
That's believable.
Point is, Grim Fandango is amazing because it's that LucasArts point-and-click adventure style, and it's in the land of the dead.
All right, well, this Glorp guy is just wrong. He says he doesn't think the King's Quest games hold up all that well. Like, the thing with the King's Quest games is...
Some of them are utter shit, actually.
Outside of, like, 3, which was bad already. Like, it was bad the first time through. Like, the ones that were good hold up because they weren't graphically based. Like, that wasn't what was good about them.
There are many... What I'll say that I'll kind of agree with him about is there are many, many, many games of that type that I think are way better than the King's Quest series. The King's Quest series was a lot of people's introduction into that, but they are worse than... I like Full Throttle better. I like the Space Quest games better.
Space Quest games are really good.
Day of the Tentacle.
The Day of the Tentacle ones are great.
Maniac Mansion.
Have you played any of the Kyrandia ones? There was a trilogy called Kyrandia that I liked a lot. There's a lot of those old point-and-click adventure games, and the King Quest games are... Hell, I even like the Leisure Suit Larry games better than King's Quest.
Those were fun, too.
They're fun as hell.
For other reasons.
I like Mega Man, but I haven't
both
played
reasons.
Mega Man's fucking the bomb.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a
You know what the
really
problem? I went back and tried to play some Mega Man games.
They're hard.
Like you forget, like every game that's been released in the last decade is just so 100% easy mode compared to those old games. Like I went back and tried to play Mega Man, and it was like, fuck, I died. Fuck, I died. Fuck, I died. Fuck this game.
You see, oh my God, there's a great video series on YouTube called like Kids Play or something like that, and they introduced like new old technologies to kids to see how they react to them. One of them was they had a bunch of kids play Mega Man.
Oh, jeez.
And they're sitting there playing, and like, oh, why did I can't touch the spikes?
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking
You can't
haven't
touch
played Ninja
anything.
Gaiden. The first Ninja Gaiden.
Oh my god, Ninja Gaiden was rough back then when you knew that there were no
and
guardrails.
3D versions are really difficult too.
The original Ninja Gaiden, about once a year, I will try to beat that game.
Yeah, I've never beat it.
I have I've got into the last boss.
I've never done that.
I've got and yeah, fucking
birds.
fucking
birds and
birds.
pillars.
Stupid.
You know, and then I'll watch speed demos archives, and people will beat it without dying in 5 minutes. I'm like, you fucking.
I hate you and hope
warlock.
you die. Yeah.
The amount of Vinter things that are being
There's a lot of
mentioned
Vinter things going on at the moment.
in our
Changing
chat.
shade of Vinter.
Hey, you know what's
goodness.
good is viticulture.
Nice. Bringing it all around.
Bringing it all around.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Zappity.
All right.
Grumble.
We should do another podcast on video games. I like that a lot.
It was fun.
It was Zappity Grumble.
Yes.
Chris Yuri asks who dies in The Walking Dead tonight. We're not going to talk about it.
Some zombies.
Yep, some zombies.
Well,
The
technically,
Walking
Walking
Dead
Dead.
has been really good so far.
I was enjoying it. I tried to get Katie to watch it. We got like partway through one episode. She was like, "It's too tense," and I
was
watched
really
like the first.
stressful.
I
It is
watched
pretty stressful.
I watched up to the farmhouse, and so I watched up to the farmhouse by myself, and I was just like, "I'm out."
Yeah, because that's when everybody stopped watching.
Fuck the farmhouse. All the oh god.
That show has a lot of peaks and valleys in quality.
It does, and it did up till then. But it always peaked again before I lost interest, and then the farmhouse was just like, "Oh wait, we can dig deeper, guys. We can make this worse."
Farmhouse gets better. It's like
Well, eventually they leave the farmhouse. That's how it gets better.
it's kind of similar to like Breaking Bad. I'm trying not to give it away for other people, but we're episode 5.5 cut off, and we were brought with the episode 5.6. You know,
The second half of the last season.
The second half of the last season, where there was a year there.
Yeah.
That's why I think season 2 is that bad, because we had to. It was boring up to that point, and then we had to wait for like a good 3 months. Chewing the fat of the horrible part, and then it picks up.
The
right
difference is
after
that Breaking Bad was being amazing, and that was just a frustrating cliffhanger.
Yeah.
With Walking Dead, the show was terrible, and if you marathon it, it's terrible for 8 episodes, which means it's terrible for a day of marathoning it. But when you're watching it in real time, that's a year of the show being terrible.
And I was watching it. I think it was like for a while it was on Hulu or whatever. So I was watching it on Hulu. Like I was behind, but I wasn't that far behind. And I got like 4 episodes into the farmhouse, and I was just like. Scoop.
Yeah,
I was just done.
Fair point.
All right. So Zappity Grumble.
Zappity Grumble.
How many people would you consider a successful tournament?
Depends on your meta.
As
I think
long
it
as you
depends
have
on your
fun.
meta. I would agree. To some extent, I would say that if you have less than 16 people show up to a tournament, in my mind, and admittedly, I'm spoiled by our meta. Like in other metas, it's different. But in Madison, if we have a tournament that's less than 16 people weren't all that interested.
Right.
In Madison. Yeah. And that's true. That is true of a lot of the Midwest, actually.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to people that live on like the East Coast or the West Coast, and they're like, "Oh man, we got like 12 people out. It was amazing." But like in Madison, like if we don't get 16, it's not really as successful. That means that for whatever reason, people didn't like the format, or people were busy, or we picked a bad day.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think as long as everybody has fun and goes for it. I mean, 8 people would probably be the lowest I would consider.
Anything less than 8 doesn't really feel like a tournament. Like,
right. It feels like it's just a bring and battle then at that point. But
yeah.
As long as everybody has fun, that's really all that matters to me.
Yeah, I mean, the first event, one of the first things I ever did when I started playing here in Madison was you guys did a longest night event, and like there were like 4 people there, like me and 3 others. I played Brian. Brian destroyed me with a bronze back because Brian's Brian, and then I played some other.
Backs are bronze
And
backs.
then bronze backs are bronze backs. I played some other guy, and he kicked my shit in with Kador, and I was like, "Oh, that was fun." And I went home, and I had a good time. And there were like 4 of us there at any given because the longest night. The weird thing, like I don't know if that's something everyone does, but here in Madison at least, it's kind of like whoever's running the tournament is just there all day. Like pretty much the entire day, and you just show up when you want to show up, and you play games, and you leave, and it was fun.
All right, Zappity.
Grumble.
All right, now that Jeremy has been replaced, what's the next catchphrase?
What's my catchphrase? Unplayable trash?
Yeah.
Playable trash.
Yeah, I think it still
Or
stays
Valiant
that.
418 on the forum.
Yeah. I think it would still use that.
I feel like it's still a good catchphrase, even if I'm not here.
I almost bought you. I went to the candy store on State Street, and they had bags of dicks, and I almost bought you one. I almost, as a housewarming thing, I almost bought you a pound of the bananas from Runts.
Yeah, they sell just the bananas.
And interestingly enough, that's the only one of the fruits that they sell by itself.
Yeah.
They don't sell the
They sell all
because the
kinds of candy
strawberries would
by
be
the pound,
amazing.
but only the bananas from Runts do they have by the pound.
That tells you that they're good.
No, it tells you that they have shitloads of them left over at the factory that are the worst.
I'm with Andy on this
sell.
one. I like the bananas.
Bananas are good,
worse.
and the strawberries are good
Strawberries
too.
are delicious. I like all the
I
Runts,
thought
though.
they were cherries.
I'm not really sure.
They had cherries.
Shaped fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They used to have cherries. Now they're one of the other flavors now. The apples, whatever they have for the apple now is what the cherry flavor used to be.
Here's a candy anecdote real quick. So Raylan and I went grocery shopping yesterday, and then there was the Easter candy aisle, so we bought a shitload of Easter candy. And so we get home, and I'm like, I want to eat this now, goddammit. So I decide that I'm going to make an Easter basket, and I'm going to put half of the candy in the Easter basket now, and then I'm going to put the other half away, and then come Easter, when we boil our eggs and
You'll
everything,
make another basket.
we'll make another basket, because we'll have eaten all this by then.
Yeah.
And so I open a bag, I dump in half of it, and I put the bag, and I open the next bag. I forgot I bought 2 bags of Whopper eggs, so I opened the first bag, dumped in half of it, put it away, then I opened the second bag, dumped in half of it, and put the other half to the side.
Smooth
And
move.
then really just like, you're an idiot.
She's not wrong.
No,
Not
actually
wrong.
not wrong.
No.
Our Easter candy anecdote was we went shopping for Katie's Corner, which is supposed to be at least healthy adjacent, and we walked through the Easter aisle, and I was like, oh, that looks, what? I want that, I want that, I want you, and I want to put you in my face.
Yeah.
All right, let's
The
go home and
Snickers-
cook something healthy.
The Snickers eggs are delicious.
Everything about Easter is delicious.
Yeah.
Which is better, Easter candy or Halloween candy?
Easter
Easter
candy.
candy.
You're going Easter
Easter
candy?
all the way.
Yeah.
Like the thing about Halloween candy is there's not, other than candy corn, there's not really a thing that's a candy you only eat at Halloween. There are other
There's
are
pumpkin treats in that, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
you're
are
right,
other
but
treats
right.
like caramel apples. I wouldn't count as a Halloween
Sure,
candy, but
like,
those
I
are
don't-
only
they're not my
those are
favorite though. but like at Easter you've got Cadbury eggs, which are just glorified amazing.
Although frustratingly enough, they're not made with Cadbury chocolate anymore
Really?
because Hershey's makes them now. Hershey's bought it out, and so they're made with Hershey's chocolate, which
So-
tastes way
which is
different than
not the
Cadbury
same.
chocolate.
No, that's lame. And then there's all of the various like peanut butter chocolate concoctions, like
Somehow in the egg, like it's the perfect combination of chocolate and filling in an egg shape.
if you get it right.
Well, Reese's anything is better than Reese's cups. The eggs, the Christmas trees, the pumpkins, they're always better than
Those
the
are
cups.
all delicious.
Because the cups have the scalloped edges, which is just superfluous chocolate that throws off the ratio.
See, I like not the really minis, but the little
The small size, but not the mini.
Yeah.
The ones that are the small size that's still wrapped, but's the cups.
because I
she
think
likes
because
those.
it's more chocolate, and I think that's a better ratio.
And she likes the chocolate better. I'm with you that I like the more peanut butter.
When I found out you could buy the peanut butter just in a jar, like every time I go to the store, I have to not buy that and a spoon.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that should just be the front page of "This is why you're fat."
Yeah.
So, but like you've got that, and you've got Peeps, which are actually really like I couldn't eat Peeps all year, but when Peeps are out, Peeps are delicious.
Peeps, you can have exactly one season, and it's Easter.
they have new flavors for them too.
They also have exactly one flavor, and it's marshmallow.
No, they got more. They got some that have actual flavor mixed in with it.
What do you mean actual? Like it already had actual flavor.
There
Like,
are flavored marshmallows. Like you can
No,
buy.
I know. I understand that as a concept they exist, but they shouldn't because they're
No.
terrible.
She just
Like,
disagrees with the fact that they.
like, I
exist.
also know that there are Christmas.
By the way, that
Peeps
whole
and
sentence you
Halloween
just
Peeps.
said would go back to the her being racist part of the conversation.
She was like Peeps.
Yeah.
Sure.
Apples with razor blades are pretty good, and those are Halloween only things.
No, they aren't.
Oh,
Like,
and
they
then
also have the rainbow eggs, which are really
yep,
good.
yeah, or all the jelly beans, like jelly beans just everywhere. Oh, I love jelly beans.
I sabotaged the Easter basket. I didn't realize I was doing it at the time, but I don't regret it because I dumped in half of the Starburst jelly beans that I got, and then I dumped in half of the Sour Patch Kids jelly beans, and I shook it all together. And Raylene doesn't like sour candy, so that's
her
now
loss.
my
That's
candy.
your candy, and also amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Starburst. The first year I bought Starburst jelly beans instead of regular jelly beans at Easter, it was like this revelation. It was like, oh my god, where have you been all my life?
I plan to go to Hy-Vee early Monday morning and scoop up Easter candy. At
Oh
half
yeah,
price.
after Easter Sunday.
Trick or treating is better than
When?
Easter egg hunting,
Yes.
but
The candy
I'm
is
with
so
you.
much
Easter
better.
I like Halloween better than Easter, but Easter candy is superior.
Well, and as an adult, I don't. I don't hunt drags or trick or treat. I give out candy at Halloween. But.
You may or may not like this, but it's another non-candy corn candy that's specific to Halloween. Is the those peanut butter things that come in the orange and black wrappers?
I don't like those.
They're like the
peanut butter
ones?
taffy.
Yeah, like I used to like them as a kid, and I don't like them anymore. As a kid, I enjoyed them quite a bit.
Okay,
but like nowadays, like more than anything, the texture, like you bite through and it's all like waxy wax, like it's like taffy. Oh man, pocket of peanut, like that texture change throws me off.
Yeah.
So, but I used to really enjoy them as a kid. I do remember liking those.
I like saltwater taffy kind of a lot.
Saltwater taffy just by itself is amazing. That's also why they're like saltwater taffy, but not, which is sad.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Zappity.
Denbox said you skipped his question.
No, I
saving it.
No,
saving it.
I did skip it, but not on purpose. I was just reading down the line, and, and I started saying, I'm skipping it. I'm like, oh, I
it was just unnotable.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What vlog is Jeremy running? What vlog is Jeremy going to start up to follow Katie's? Rum drinking, ultimate frisbee, unplayable trash sorting. Something else?
Those are all good options. I mostly like the drinking one. We could call it Jeremy's liver death.
There's him being terrible at Destiny. Are you still terrible at Destiny?
I have stopped playing Destiny.
Okay,
sadly.
that's the best way to stop being terrible at it.
It is. Well, I was really good at Destiny. I was really good at Destiny.
Yeah.
I think like everyone stopped playing Destiny.
Somebody did recommend on Twitter that I could start First Aid with Valiant 418, and it could immediately follow Cooking with Katie, so that as she injures herself cooking, I could just like fix her up, and that would be my show. Several people were very worried.
Or medical drama.
The way she cuts vegetables really worries people.
I have never cut myself cutting vegetables, by the way.
But she'll cut a bitch.
You just about chopped your finger off cleaning the knife one time.
Yeah, but that was cleaning the knife.
That wasn't chopping vegetables.
It wasn't chopping vegetables. What I learned is you just don't clean your cooking utensils.
That's fair.
Not what you should have learned. You learned the wrong thing.
All right, Zappity.
Crumble.
Matthew Julian asks, can we have a good Nathan rant?
I feel like
I almost just had one because whatever fucker was talking about razor blades and apples.
Yeah.
I am infuriated by the misconception that Halloween candy is or has ever been dangerous. Ever.
I mean, there's like the random cases. It does happen.
Guess how many cases there have been of children being poisoned by strangers in Halloween ever in the history of American trick-or-treating fucking ever? Guess how many? Give you a hint. It's none. None fucking ever. None. One kid died of poisoning, and his uncle did it. And his uncle poisoned a bunch of the candy and said, oh my goodness, he must have been poisoned by a stranger. That's the only kid that was killed by Halloween candy. There's no random fuckers murdering kids with candy. At all. It doesn't happen. It's never happened.
I read the same Cracked article.
It's actually a documentary I watched, but it was also in the Cracked article because it's a thing. Like, it's such a fucking stupid misconception.
What about the razor blade thing?
No, like
okay,
it's not like now what's happening is that people are like kids are doing it themselves to get attention. Like they'll go home, they'll grab an apple, they'll shove razor blades and go, "Look, Mom, look what happened," just to get the Munchausen syndrome thing.
Yeah.
But it's not. Nobody's sitting at home shoving razor blades and apples and putting cyanide and pixie sticks and handing them out to the trick or treaters. It just doesn't fucking happen. And it's bad enough that you get stupid, overly sensitive Christians trying to get rid of Halloween because they think it's Satanist when it's actually a Catholic holiday, you fucking idiots. But you got those people, and then you've got idiots trying to get rid of it because they think children are dying in droves because they're being poisoned and razor bladed to death. And none of that shit's happening. Stop taking Halloween away from me.
I missed this.
Are you sure?
A little bit.
Jeremy, how did you spend your Halloweens as a kid?
We weren't allowed to trick or treat
Because it's Satanist, or
like we would turn off all the lights at the house, and my family was my family is one of those families.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. Now, my family is also Christian, but we were allowed to trick or treat because my mom ain't no fool. She's not buying us candy. We're getting it free.
Zappity?
Grumble.
All right, last one here. Bacon or pie?
Wait, bacon or pie?
You can have
Bacon or pie?
You can have bacon pie.
You just have bacon pie.
Yes.
That sounds.
I would. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I would try that.
It's
Like
like
an
hot
apple
pie,
pie,
but
like
bacon.
how you have the layers going on the top, and that just being all bacon.
I mean, I can imagine many ways that would be amazing, and I'm okay with all of them.
If I had to give up bacon forever or pie forever,
it would
I
be pie.
No. I'd give up bacon.
You're wrong.
I would give up bacon. Too.
Bacon's delicious, but you know what? I can eat some sausage. Like I can live.
Yeah, you can.
I can get. Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
That's why it's so popular in college.
Yeah, I could give up. I could give up pie because there's always cake.
Yeah, that's
like
the thing.
cake.
Cake
But
is
cake is-
so much worse than pie.
Okay, that's
in
not
every
true, but
way.
cake is a lot different than pie. Like,
It is
you're
very
going for
different.
two different, like, do tarts count as pie?
If you had to give up cake or pie, you'd give up pie over cake?
Katie really likes frosting, and there's no frosting on pie.
It depends on the pie.
No.
Dude,
There's
the
frosting
cream.
is generally-
I mean,
there's
it
generally
really
whipped
depends
stuff
on,
I
like,
guess it's- yeah,
could I have
yeah.
a tart? Because if I can have a tart, then
What's
I
a
don't
tart?
need pie. It's,
Can you have a calzone?
It's a pie.
Is a calzone a pie?
That's a good question. I feel like this is important information.
According to Parks and Recreation, a calzone's a pie.
Yeah. It's a good episode, dude.
It is. I was just saying he's an underappreciated character. I doubt anybody says he's their favorite character on Parks and Recreation. But he's a great character.
Who?
The one guy.
Jerry?
Not Jerry's amazing.
Jerry.
No, the husband. The
Ben?
fucking, Ben Wyatt.
Oh, I love Ben.
Yeah.
Ben's amazing. Like I was thinking, like Ben Wyatt's fucking amazing. But like everyone's like, I love Ron Swanson. I love Amy.
fair,
I
Ron
love
Swanson's
this.
amazing,
I
but-
love Andy. But like Ben's us. We're all Ben at heart.
I
I'm
have
Ben
a
Hart.
huge crush on Ben.
Yeah, Katie
when he
didn't have
gets
a chance
knighted.
Like, okay, he's an accountant who's super good at what he does. Like, I don't know how you can't find that hot and sexy.
Zappity?
Oh my God, Sam is so wrong. He says cake is greater than pie.
I think you might be right because of frosting. Because of cream,
Frosting.
cheese, frosting.
Frosting
yeah.
is the worst
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
cake
I
because
agree.
there's always too much of it.
No, wrong.
Nope.
Just-
It
There's
always
never
takes
enough.
them off. You can't add them.
It's-
That's why you put more on than somebody might
How-
want.
Or
So-
buttercream frosting?
The lighter
Cream cheese
whipped
frosting?
topping on pie is better than the heavy shit on cake.
False.
I don't.
we
Have
should-
you had cream cheese frosting?
Yeah,
What
it's
about
good.
pumpkin
It's
bars
good.
with
I'm not
cream
saying
cheese
I don't
on top?
like frosting, but it's this 50-pound slab of shit on top of a cake versus the nice, delicious whipped thing sitting
Nope.
on top of a
No.
delicious
No.
pie.
I don't
You're
know that
wrong.
Because I'm not going to sit there and eat spoonfuls of whipped cream. I'm going to eat
Are you-
spoonfuls
Well,
of
the frosting.
frosting.
Are you
Here's-
not going to eat spoonfuls of whipped cream? Will you not open up a case of Cool Whip and just eat that fucker?
She actually would rather do that with frosting. I've seen
I
her
would
do it.
rather do a frosting.
seen-
So we should do this as an experiment on your show.
Key
we should
lime
bake a pie
apple
and
pie,
put frosting on it.
pumpkin
No.
pie.
It would be
no,
gross.
that
It'd be
would be
terrible.
Yeah,
nasty.
you can't do that. Come
I mean,
on,
No,
Andy.
I'd rather do bacon on a pie than
Like-
frosting.
Cake's
Bacon on a pie would be
fine,
delicious.
and
I think
frosting's
bacon on
good, but
apple
there's
pie.
so many pies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's so
yeah,
many
hell
kinds
yeah.
of cakes. I think you're just thinking of like the generic white cake with
Yeah,
crappy
anything like
frosting.
dry,
on it.
crappy cake also? Because
Yeah.
that's like good cake.
There's
You can
good
have some-
cake. I
you can have
love
some-
cake. Don't get me wrong, but you're going to give up key lime pie. You're
Yep.
going to give up pumpkin,
Yep.
pecan,
Yep.
apple and cherry. All those fruit
Yep.
pies. You're going to give up all that shit for cake?
Yep.
Okay, so like we had a cupcake contest at work. There was lemon and blueberry cupcakes. There was bacon cupcakes. There was Snickers cupcakes. There was raspberry tart cupcakes. They were all delicious.
That's fine.
but you're like there's only one kind
Those
of
are
cake.
that's cake with shit in it, and you can put different shit into it, just like
That's
there's
all
different
that pie
fruit
is.
pies.
Like,
I'm not
this
gonna
is
lie. I'm not
pie
even
with
gonna lie.
shit in it.
If I were
Like,
to give up
come on.
pies, it would be harder for me to give up like chicken pot pie than it would be to give up like dessert pies.
Chicken pot pie is
Because
delicious.
chicken pot pie is amazing.
So pies. What we could do is you can mix them all up and you just call it a cobbler.
Also, 1 second. No, it's not Denbach. Pumpkin is not a goddamn vegetable. It's a fruit. The seeds are inside of it. Dickhole.
What about strawberries?
Yeah.
Seeds are outside.
They're a berry.
Yeah.
Berries are a subsect. They're different.
How are they different? Are they a fruit or a vegetable?
They are. It's because they are like the genitals of a plant as opposed to being the. I don't want to go too botanologically into it.
Why not?
But
I
they're
really want to
different.
know. I'm very interested in the subject specifically from you.
All right, I will
no help
Google-
from your phone. If you're going
It's
to get
kinda
angry
like-
at something, I want you to understand the entire thing from top to bottom.
Berries
Pooping.
are to fruit as monotremes are to mammals. They are technically within it, but they disobey one of the
what's a
key
monotreme?
rules. Platypi and echidnas. They're the egg-laying mammals.
Egg-laying
Okay.
mammals.
Yeah, no.
So they're technically one of the cardinal rules of mammals is that they
Is
give live
live birth,
birth. That
yep.
is a thing that makes you a mammal.
you
but
can't include things from Australia.
Okay, well now you're just putting in different rules. I thought I had a good analogy going here, where berries are the monotreme of the fruit kingdom, where they're technically a fruit, but they disobey one of the cardinal rules.
I have to give him a little bit of a point. That's a pretty good analogy.
But I know, but
You're not happy about
If
it.
it's from Australia, it's just going to be abnormal anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And there are berries
And probably
everywhere.
going to want to kill you.
Katie's just upset that she poked the bear and the bear just like responded nicely.
Oh my god, people are asking about bananas, tomatoes, and olives.
Bananas, interestingly enough, clone themselves.
Really?
They don't have sex.
Huh.
They just
Bananas
clone
make
themselves.
bananas.
That's why every once in a while the entire species, like an entire species of banana, will just fucking die because they don't breed. If there's something that will kill a banana,
It
the
kills all
whole
bananas.
species dies. So like the bananas we have now, the Cavendish, are different than the bananas that every American ate in like the 30s because that banana doesn't exist anymore. It just died, just gone.
Interesting.
Anywho,
What are we talking about? Pie. Pie is so much better than bacon. Even if we're not doing the cake pie thing, I would
Okay.
give up bacon before pie.
You guys may have convinced me on the bacon pie thing, but the cake pie thing,
because
cake
the
is
problem
better.
that I have with bacon is that it gives me indigestion.
Yeah, you do have trouble with bacon. Like, you burp it up all day.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you're, like, bacon
delicious,
intolerant.
But it's
It's bacon.
She is, like,
I have
bacon
bacon. I
intolerant.
can eat any other part of a pig, no problem. But bacon gives me really bad indigestion.
I think you just have trouble with things that are really greasy.
I do love bacon, but
Because ribs
pie.
wreck you, too.
Ribs do wreck me, man.
Like, things that are very fatty, high in fat content, I think you have trouble with.
That could be a gallbladder issue.
Could be.
My mom has gallbladder issues.
There you go.
That was one of the things when I was on a steady diet of glass nickel pizza. my stomach,
Also a fruit.
yeah, which is also a fruit. Yes, just
'Cause the seeds are on the
destroyed
inside.
me, and I thought I had gallstones.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very painful. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't
should
take a
really see a
deep breath
doctor.
in. Check it out.
No, when I have a gallbladder attack, I'll know. I won't be able to move.
Well, yeah, it's yeah.
The pain is real.
Zappity.
Grumble.
Grumble.
Are we out of... Is that the whole...
That's it.
That's it? That's all we got?
Yep. So quick recommendations.
Yep.
We're closing in on 2 hours.
Man,
Holy
Katie,
shit.
it's all your fault.
Probably. I stopped coming.
Pie is so much
Just
better.
that you have to make... No, you're wrong. Katie, make your recommendation.
I'm going to actually recommend Murder, She Wrote. It came up yesterday, and I remembered what
Yeah,
a great
Murder,
show
She
that
Wrote.
was.
That was great.
Also, Katie
Guest
Simpson.
starring everybody ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like every actor of all time.
Anyway.
Wasn't there like a run of episodes that had Dick Van Dyke on there, which was funny because like Dick Van Dyke show was on at the same time.
Diagnosis Murder, maybe you're thinking of?
and maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe,
of.
or maybe they had a crossover and you're not insane.
I think they may
but
have had a
Diagnosis
crossover.
Murder was a thing.
Yeah, but I thought maybe they had a crossover, but it's been a long time since I watched.
Dick Van Dyke's awesome.
Also true.
Not gonna go to
I
Murder.
had a recommendation. Son of a bitch.
Good job.
Oh, I'm going to recommend viticulture. I actually really enjoyed viticulture, and
Is it a fruit?
Probably.
Yeah, because it's grapes.
It's great. So it's a fruit. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I think that
Jeremy's a fruit. His seeds are on the inside.
in a rare stroke
So
of
are you.
brilliance,
Yay!
the captain was correct. And when you're playing viticulture, you should also drink wine. And that was not an experience I've had yet, but it's something I look forward to having.
So that means I cannot play that game.
Do you not like wine?
I don't know what it is about wine. I can't
just
drink
wrecks
it.
you?
No, it doesn't wreck me. I don't like the taste of it. It's
They're
really
not
kind of
Moscato.
brittle. It's
There
kind of
are about
bitter.
100 different wines. I have a feeling that there's got to be one you like.
I've
It's kind of like beer. You know,
Challenge
there's
accepted.
There's IPAs, and then there's ales, and then there's thises and that's, and then those is, and wine's that same
And
way.
there are like 3 or 4 that are like what everyone says you classically, and they're the ones that usually get at a restaurant.
I don't really like
and,
them.
and those are not the best ones.
okay.
So
well,
if those are all you've had, then you may just not have had the good ones.
maybe I'll it's alcohol. I'll be willing to give it a shot.
Challenge accepted.
But yeah, generally most of the wines I've gotten I have not liked.
Do you like champagne?
No,
I don't like
not
champagne.
really. that
Some
much
people
either.
don't, but like that's a very different thing than wine, but also technically a wine. So.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just either too bitter or just
Champagne hits a lot of people that way,
Yeah.
but I like champagne.
There are a lot of really sweet wines.
I would
yeah, you
probably
have to
like
get
that.
to know them. They're really sweet.
I noticed that
Like
like drinking
Katie.
is I like sweet drinks a lot.
I will find you a sweet wine.
All right, we'll
Challenge
try it
accepted.
out.
And it will not be Boone's Farm.
Hey, come on now. Don't badmouth Boone's Farm.
I've drinking some Boone's Farm in my day.
Wine coolers, baby.
That's good stuff.
Well, I can drink wine coolers though,
Yeah.
but that's not
That's wine.
wine.
It's basically the
It's-
same thing.
Those make me
It's just
tiny.
really cheap wine that's carbonated. Not even always carbonated, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, viticulture, very fun game. I highly recommend it.
I already recommended it last week, and I'm recommending it again. Everybody should go and play New and Tasty because it's an awesome game.
Noon tasty.
New and Tasty.
New
Oddworld.
and tasty. It's the
Yep.
re-release of the Oddworld games.
Okay.
Yep. It is beautiful. It's beautiful to look at, and it retains all the same gameplay that you had back then. So good.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nathan?
Did I recommend? Did I ever recommend the thing that I was just saying he should play? The
Grim Fandango?
Grim Fandango.
I think you may have, but I don't keep up with that.
Do it
thread
again.
anymore.
It's out. Why aren't you playing Grim Fandango? Oh! You know what came out finally? And I love the first one. I'll be honest here. I haven't played the second one, but I goddamn love the first one. And I recommended the first one, and the sequel's out now, so this is more of a public service than a recommendation, is the sequel to my Hotline Miami finally came out.
Oh, I've heard rumors about the second one not being very good.
Hotline Miami.
Yep.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, the first one really kind of takes
Right.
it tongue-in-cheek, and the second one really kind of adds a little bit more to...
First one is not tongue-in-cheek in the slightest at all. First one is really straight-faced, brutal, no humor about it.
That's what I mean, is that they tongue-in-cheek as in that's just what it's all about.
Yeah.
The second one, they try to add a lot more stories with different characters. It doesn't seem... But... Yes, it is.
There is a lot of plot in the first one, but it's all retroactive because it's what's happening. Katie doesn't care. The secret ending, if you unlock all the puzzles and everything, and you unlock the secret ending, there's an extra chapter that retroactively explains all the plot that was happening. So when you're playing through it the first time, you can just skip all the scenes and not give a shit about the plot, and then at the end, hooray. But so I can see that. And so if the plot's more actually integrated during the story, and it's not something that you wouldn't necessarily give a shit about the plot, because all it is, Gauntlet on crack.
Correct.
But if you like Gauntlet, but wish that there was blood everywhere and you were braining people and it was super violent,
Then you will like that game.
yeah. No, I love the first game, and the sequel's out now. So there you go. So that and Grim Fandango.
All right.
All right.
And in answer to Denbach, Moscato is one of the things I'll definitely make Andy try. It's Katie's favorite wine. So
What's the toilet wine they make in prison?
toilet wine.
No, it has a name.
Does it?
Yeah, I'll Google it later. Doesn't
All right.
matter.
Fair enough.
I'm not drinking it.
Valid counterpoint.
I'm not going to drink toilet wine either, but... All right. Well, thank you for listening to episode 109.
Yay.
What's that look for?
We just started talking about toilet wine.
Yeah, Katie got all excited. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
So, one of my